Cool. Let's get started. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Actually, I forgot to ask you this. But did you want me to shout out your Twitch or your Twitter?
Uh, hmm, Either is fine. I mean, my links to my Twitter are on my Twitch.
True. Okay, cool then. And let me see. I have a little special. Boom, boom. See, look at that. Look how cool and fancy it looks. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, bot commands.
Oh my
Oof.
god, bot commands. And then screen commands and all the good stuff.
Now they can see I was playing Sniper Elite 5.
Nice. How you like that, actually?
Actually, I'm liking it pretty good. I'm currently playing it with another one of my streamer friends, Doc Dresden, and I'm not usually the one to go in on shooters, but this one's been kind of fun. I prefer playing snipers when I do play shooters. For the most part,
the bolt lock feature is so satisfying.
It really is. But like for most battle royales, I tend to go with the run up and shoot people point blank. But like in certain games like this one, I definitely love the sniper.
Yeah, makes sense. The point blank motif does not work in sniper games. Usually.
No, usually not. I find that when I play certain games that are shooters, where I do tend to favor the closer range, I tend to usually end up getting the short end of the stick with the against snipers.
Makes sense. I hear. Well, hey,
Yeah.
welcome to the stream. This is really fun. I like doing these kind of things.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. For those who do not know, I usually do. Oh, I shrunk. You okay? You got small. You turned small.
Yeah, no. So
hi.
I have someone else in the room with me, and sometimes the camera grabs their face.
No worries. I just thought, oh hey, he shrunk. I guess when he gets modest, he turns a small demon.
Oh no, not me going modest. Oh dear.
No, come back, little demon. You're supposed to be scary and intimidating and like monstrous.
Monstrous? Nah,
Yeah.
that ain't me.
What? But you're a demon. When I think of demons, I think of blood, gore, evil, like kind of people.
No. With me, I'm just, I'm just what do they say? I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Oh, snap. I see. So you're a demon lover. That sounds wrong. So you're a demon.
Not of the incubus variety though.
I see. That would be interesting though. But
there are incubus VTubers out there.
So have you seen Overlord? Have you seen Overlord? So
Yes, I am actually a big anime fan, so I have seen Overlord.
Nice. Are you pretty caught up with the series then?
I think I was caught up to the most recent one until the newest one, so I think I watched up through season 3.
Okay. So I won't spoil too much for you, but let's just say there's a dragon that you meet, and this dragon is in a clan of very ferocious, crazy, monstrous, powerful dragons. But this dragon just wants to read books. That's all he wants. So he's not that strong, but he's very literate. He's very smart. I'm guessing that is kind of your shtick because you are a demon, but instead of being super crazy, monster, powerful kind of person, you just like to read books and you're very literate.
Honestly, reading books is a huge thing for me. So even before I became a demon, I grew up reading a lot of books. I grew up in a single-parent household for the first 10 years of my demon life.
Those tough times as a demon.
Yeah, and so having a single parent who had to take care of the house and work a job and everything, they had to find a way to deal with their demon spawn to keep them entertained. And one of the ways they did that was to give me books. So, they would take me out to a store to go do clothes shopping or grocery shopping, and they would just sit me in the cart with a book. So, I read a lot, and a lot of it was, of course, like the early childhood books. And then like when I started getting older, you know, it was comic books like Fantastic Four and Spider-Man,
Okay.
the original Archie Sonic the Hedgehog comic books. Was a lot when I was a kid. And then you know, once I started school, like I was already reading the Animorphs, the Goosebumps, a
Nice.
series called Broken Sky. I was reading those, and like I was reading way ahead of a lot of my peers because every time my parent needed to go out and do something, they handed me a book.
That's pretty good. That's a really good reason. That's a really good way to get someone to read books at a young age. Just, if you have nothing to
Yeah.
do, here's a book.
And then unfortunately that equated to, well, unfortunately it equated to me continuing to read and collect books throughout my life. And now I just got a whole ton of books. Like I have a lot of physical book media, and then this is after I've already gotten rid of some from years of moving around as a younger demon, because I didn't want to keep dragging it with me all the way, because books are heavy.
They can be.
And so like I've got shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves of books, and like I've started doing a lot more of the ebook thing, and I've got like over 400 books on my
Wow.
e-reader. So like I still love reading, and I try to do it when I can. Um, but sometimes life is busy. I haven't been reading as much as I would like to. I do have a stack of some books I want to get to, but like I read a lot of stuff from like nonfiction to folklore to fantasy, sci-fi, a lot of manga. I still read some comic book stuff. I still read a lot. I still read a pretty well-rounded amount of everything. So yeah,
Nice.
I
Okay,
collect a lot
so
of books.
top book franchises in your opinion that you enjoy reading.
Ooh, so one of my favorite ones to go back and keep reading. So my favorite. So first of all, this will probably come back multiple times throughout the interview if we talk about manga, books, and anime. My favorite series of all times, book wise, anime wise, everything wise, is The Slayers, which is originally a light novel series written by Hajime Kanzaka of Japan. And it is currently, I believe, a 17 book series that started being written back in the late 80s, early 90s. It got really popular back then and got an anime adaptation, a bunch of video games and movies and stuff during the 90s to early 2000s. And then it got two new TV series in 2010, 2011. And then around the time for the 30th anniversary, which I think just passed the last year or two, was the 30th anniversary of the books. They released two new volumes, volumes 16 and 17. And they've got a very strong following. I'm part of a huge Discord for their works. It is a enclosed fantasy story. It involves a lot of magic, demons, sorcerers, swordsmen, the world being at stake type of stuff. Really, really high fantasy, which tends to be my favorite. And it definitely influenced a lot of my personality and interest in playing stuff like Dungeons and Dragons.
I like it. I like it. All right. Sounds dope. I like these kind of like intro to like your child upbringing to what shapes you to today, which is really cool. I've not heard of Slayers, but it sounds familiar, so I might actually know about it. I'll have to look it up. It sounds interesting.
So like anime was so like I assume we have similar ages, and that, you know, growing up in the 90s, anime was around, but it wasn't readily out there for
Not
children to
really.
see beyond like Pokemon and Speed Racer and maybe the odd Dragon Ball episode on cable TV, until Toonami started.
Oh,
And
Toonami was my
so
jam. I love Toonami.
Toonami was everyone's jam back then. You know, you had the Outlaw Star, the Dragon Ball Z with that freaking English music dub over, which was freaking baller.
Dude, yes.
And then Sailor Moon and all that stuff. Yeah, no. But Slayers, I had someone who was a friend back in middle school who knew about Slayers, and around the time that they introduced me to it, was when at one of the cable channels on cable TV, IFC, the international channel, started airing the episodes with an English subtitles
Oh.
at like 8 or 9 p.m. every night. And so I literally learned how to program a VCR to record stuff just so I could record those. And it turned into fights with my eventual father once I was of that age. My single parent married, and so it turned into some fights sometimes where they would want to watch The Simpsons, and I'd be like, "No, I'm recording my show."
Freaking no one cares about Simpsons. It'll day off eventually. No one cares about Simpsons. Slayer's where it's at.
Yeah, no, it's like Dad, they literally rerun these episodes every day of the week. Stop. Let me watch my
This
anime.
is new stuff. Let me watch my anime. Stop it. Get some help.
This is literally the only channel to watch this on.
I love it.
But yeah, so like, I mean, like, I just remember back to those days as an anime fan back in like the late 90s, early to mid 2000s, where everything, like, anime was starting to become a little more mainstream, but it hadn't quite hit the stage yet where you had the streaming services, you could find it regularly on TV. And I remember this international channel introducing me to a few series, and then also having to look for certain episodes online. And like, I watched all of Dragon Ball GT dubbed in Italian with English subtitles.
Oh wait, dubbed in Italian. I love that. That's great. See, that's commitment right there. That's commitment.
That's commitment. Oh my gosh! But
I'm
no, Slayers is definitely my favorite book series slash anime series. As far as something more in the English media, I would definitely have to say some of my favorite books are probably, oh God, what is that series? It's probably from the Icewind Dale series, which also had a popular game. It's kind of in the D&D Forgotten Realms storyline with Dritz and a bunch of other characters. I'm also a fan of like the Krondor series by Raymond Feast, also a good series. Dragon Riders of Pern by Anne McCaffrey is good. Just a lot of fantasy books.
I see.
I would also recommend a more recent series of books, the Scythe series by Neil Shusterman, which is a not so far off in the future series about how humanity has conquered death, and now there's an organization of people called the Scythes who pick people at random to die to cull the population on a regular basis.
I like Thanos right there,
Yeah, and then, there's a whole bunch of political drama within the organization, and it involves this giant AI that runs the world getting involved. And it's a really good series. It's a 3-book series. Highly recommend. It's available on audiobook, and as a busy demon, I can recommend audiobooks all day, every day.
I see. You should get that. What's that sponsorship? It's the what's that? It's the audiobook.com.
Is it Audible?
Audible, yeah. It should be sponsored by Audible.
So I actually reached out to Audible a few months ago about that. I'm just like, hey, book loving demon here. I would love to promote your stuff. I already buy a lot of your stuff on Audible. I would love to be able to promote your stuff, and you don't even have to pay me. You could just give me books in exchange for my promotion so I can read more.
Yeah.
Just give me some of those sweet book credits. But I'm not a huge streamer, so Amazon kind of looked at me and went, eh. So I'm hoping eventually I can reach the numbers to make them double think that, and I can get some free books.
I wish you luck.
For now, yeah. Like for now, I'm not too actively seeking sponsorships. I'm kind of just having fun with it while working full time. So it's doing this full time would be something I'd love to do, but it's not necessarily what I'm focused on right now.
No, I got you. It makes sense. Okay. Huh. I would love to see that Audible thing. Also, on the left side, I'm looking at the Slayers, and yes, I definitely recognize it. I recognize the little redhead girl. I definitely recognize her.
Lena Inverse, the main character.
Yes. I definitely recognize her. Something tells me that this fits with your style of interests. She looks like a tsundere. I could be wrong.
She's not a tsundere.
Oh.
She's not tsundere. She's actually much more. So like this
Is she like
anime
Sailor
is
Moon,
old
like a
enough.
Sailor Moon kind of thing, a Sailor Moon kind of style.
It's the old '90s style.
Yeah,
You know, it's
trope.
the '90s anime style. I don't know if they were from a similar studio or not, but like the the whole series is from the '90s. It's got a very distinct look by the artist
Yeah,
Arai
yeah.
Izumi, who did the work for all the books.
That's a
It's got its
game.
distinct style, and I love it. If you follow my channel and you see the alerts on my channel, all of my channel alerts are Slayers themed.
Okay.
Because I just love Slayers. But
Hey, go for it.
it's an older series. Like none of the characters really fit into the normal tropes you see in a lot of anime today. Like there's no tsundere character, there's no kudere character.
That's back in the day.
All the characters are really well fleshed out to be their own thing without fitting into a particular box, other than the boxes that exist within that series. Like you've got Lena Inverse, who's very brash, very blunt, and very excitable, and tends to resort to violence as her default without being a tsundere about it. Like she does it in reaction to everything, not just to someone who likes her or someone who makes moves on her. She just her general way of choosing to deal with things is either with violence or like a merchant, where she'll try to haggle with people. Then you got another character, Amelia, who is like this hero of justice worshipping teenager who is constantly doing like the hero monologue and chasing down evildoers, and has a very extreme balance of morals where she will overreact to the minor misdemeanors. But throughout the series, she starts to learn to have to overlook certain things in the name of justice, because you can't always fight every misdemeanor and go after the big bad, you know? And there's other characters that all have growing moments. And the series is 5 seasons long. And then it's got a bunch of OVAs and movies, and then a bunch of video games. It's a really long series, and I can just talk about Slayers all day.
No, which is
you
great.
You might want to stop me on that.
No. See, you have the spotlight. This is your time to shine, to talk about the interests you have, and I really love seeing how motivated you are to talk about this. I like it. It's really cool. My question.
I just love Slayers so much.
Yeah. Look how special. Look how happy you are about Slayers. Like, wait, I have an opportunity to talk about Slayers in a sit down interview style conversation. I love it.
Oh no! By the end of this, my plan is to sell you on watching it.
I probably won't. I apologize, because I barely have time to watch even the anime I want to watch. But I do remember seeing it. But I don't think I ever watched it. But I do know what you're talking about.
You might have seen promotionals or commercials or stuff online.
Yeah, stuff like that. I think I might have even seen the game in the shop before.
Yeah, I mean, it has a Super Nintendo game and a Sega Saturn game. The characters have appeared in some like doujinshi games from Japan. But it gets some recognition within the older anime fan circles, but like a lot of newer anime fans don't really know about it, which is sad, because it really set the bar for a fantasy series for the future.
I think I heard something about how like there's some anime fans who don't know what like the 90s 90s animes were like, and they are trying to watch it and they just can't get through with it because it's a complete different demographic and style that the newer stuff is going for, which I don't know. I feel like you should, as an anime fan, you should diverse into different styles of anime to get kind of a good roundabout understanding of what you're missing, you know? Because like for us, here's the thing, for us, we only were able to watch what was given to us here in the West, you know? Like we only could just have tidbits of the stuff, like that everything that was going on to. Now, anyone can watch any anime they want at any time, no matter what. You know, like anyone has just a huge catalog of whatever they want to watch. It's really easy to watch any anime. If that was me back in the day, I don't think I would ever leave my house. Like ever.
I mean, like, back in the day, we got what we got either through Toonami or the random cable channels or going over to a friend's house or whatever. That's what we got. It's not like today, like you said, where options are limitless, where you have dedicated streaming companies that now release things as they air in Japan
Yeah, that's
with
crazy for me.
the subs, and it's just like we didn't have that. I remember having to don't come after me, FBI, having to torrent anime online to get the newer stuff because you could not get it on TV. I remember certain series as they came out, like in 2005, 2006, having to rip them from online to be able to watch them because you had all these fan subgroups back before these companies existed doing the subbing and putting them up for streaming. So, like, great that
Fan
these companies
subs,
exist
yeah.
now, but damn, those kids don't know the struggle.
No, I hear you. Yeah, like fan subs was like the coolest people in the world back in the day. And I remember there was an old anime I watched back in the day that's around the same time period, around the 90s, and then it got like a little more updated as time went on. But it's a weird anime that me and my brother used to watch, and we could only watch on YouTube. We had to look up YouTube videos just to watch it, and we had to watch it really quickly before YouTube took it down because they were not supposed to like air it.
Yeah.
But it was Gensetsu Weed, Silver Fang Legends. And literally, it was just all these dogs that were like ninja dogs that were like killing like other dogs and like trying to like claim a mountain. It's really cool. It's really cool.
Like, I never saw that. I'll have to look that up.
Not many people know that. Yeah, it's Gensetsu Weed. So it's Silver Fang Legends. Silver Fang Legends. There's an older one, and then there's a new one with a weed. He's a little tiny blue dog. He's a little dog.
Oh, yeah. I see it here. Okay,
Yeah,
I've got it pulled up. I'll have to check that out. Looks like it's got a book series too. I love books. There we go.
Check it out. It's a pretty legit like story about like two giant like I think dimension. What I can't say the word. Dalmatian. Yeah, those two dogs, like two giant freaking dogs that's ruling over like this mountain, and they're like trying to take over the whole place, and all these different dog clans all come together trying to fight it, and it's like all these and there's like different character dogs that all have like different personalities and styles, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, that was the big thing back in the day, and I remember watching Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh, Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho, all this kind of stuff. But then when I went to California, I was introduced to the coolest anime on the block, the coolest thing. No anime was beating that one, and that was Naruto. That was huge for me because I thought that was the coolest thing ever because all the kids liked it. They were like, "Oh yeah, you like Dragon Ball? You like Pokemon? Like Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, check this out." And I was like, "Oh, what? That's so cool." Now I realize how like mundane it is, like compared to like Dragon Ball Z and like Bleach, and it's just like the staple. It's like literally the big three.
It was definitely the popular thing at the time. I remember when it came out, I was watching some of it. I think I watched it to a certain point where it started getting hit with like the heavy filler towards the back end.
Oh yeah.
And then I dropped it, and then Naruto Shippuden came out, and I didn't watch that. I think I waited I waited a few years after Shippuden ended before I actually watched Shippuden. And I was like, Shippuden was definitely a lot better than the original Naruto series, I feel. But I still I compare it to shows like Yu Yu Hakusho in my mind, and Yu Yu Hakusho is just such a superior anime in my mind. And I get it that different generations, different people, different tastes. But like, I'm not a huge fan of shows where everyone's overpowered. And the whole thing with Naruto is that the power dynamic just keeps jumping the shark as it goes on. And sometimes you see them have to learn the technique or train for it a little bit, but it's not like they're really struggling.
Yeah, it's definitely
that kind of bums me because I like watching characters have to work towards and earn that shit.
No, I agree, and I like that too. And I think the big three, anime, Dragon Ball, Bleach, even One Piece and Naruto, I think they all have the same problem that they have like this overpowered characters right up from the start, and then they might get chopped down a peg compared to someone else, but then they just go rise up for some random anime moment. And I definitely agree. I think the ones I hate the most though is Bleach, because with Bleach, this is more my personal opinion, but like with Bleach, it just felt like the main character would be super epic, super cool, and then it gets literally slapped down to the ground by some random character in the beginning of the season, and then he spends the entire season training just to get to that end part where he just backhands the main guy who destroyed him in the beginning, and then the next season starts and it happens all over again. Like, where was all that progress you made? You did all this progress to get all really epic, and then some guy out of nowhere just flicks you and you're dead, and now we have to spend another season of trying to get strong again. It got annoying.
Yeah, no, I understand that, because I get what you're saying. It's like, why are these people that are so strong that they literally overshadow the previous boss just appear out of nowhere? Like, where were these people?
Like, who were you?
Why is the
Where
gap
were you?
so long? Why is the gap so large immediately every season?
Yeah, and then of course, then the filler comes into place that you just see them like training, and they're literally just like tacking with a sword every now and then. Like, this person is in this spiritual pressure that is like 10 times the Earth's gravitational pull, but it doesn't look like much, but he's totally exhausted, and this will put him to the limit of his new potential. And then he dies. And then he comes back. Oh, now this is 10 times more crazier. He shouldn't be able to survive it, but the will of friendship and power alone, he's able to sustain it. Like, stuff like that. Like, so, I was able to enjoy it because that's all I saw back in the day, because that's like all the thing we can watch. But man, like looking back on it, I'm like,
yeah, no, I gotcha. I would say though, as far as the big three are concerned, my favorite moment as far as fights go within the big three comes from One Piece. It comes from old version of One Piece before they did the upgrade to HT, and it comes from the fight against the electric god guy in the Cloud World.
Yeah,
when he strikes Luffy with lightning and it does nothing because Luffy is made out of rubber.
Yeah, which makes sense. Like that was clever, because this is no strength, this is no power level, there's no training. It's just science.
It's literally, I'm made of rubber, you cannot electrify me.
Yeah.
And I love how instead of it being Luffy's just stronger than him, it's just that Luffy is immune to his power.
Which
and
is
I just
so
love
smart.
that much more.
Yeah, it makes sense, and I like that kind of aspect, because again, it defeats the whole like motto of like, oh yeah, he's just super powerful. And they showed that lightning guy is a pretty powerful person, because he was like dealing with other people.
He was
pretty
kicking
easily.
everyone's ass.
Yeah, so he comes up to Luffy, he's like, I can kick your butt too, and he's like, wait, you're rubber? Like, what? None of my powers work on you?
The thing is that the god doesn't know what rubber is.
Yeah.
So he doesn't even know how to counter the fact that Luffy's immune to his electricity, because all he knows to do is to rely on his electricity, because he's never had to do anything else.
That's so
like, it is so satisfying to see that Luffy just wipes the floor with him only because of how science works.
Oh yeah, no, which is very clever, and I will give it so much props for that, because don't get me wrong, there was some Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, and even some Bleach moments that I was like on the floor as a kid, like, oh my god, that is so freaking epic. But I will admit that when that episode of like One Piece did air when I was a kid, I remember seeing like, oh, that makes sense, and I learned something today. So not only it was epic, but also I learned something. You know?
Yeah, and nice. Like, again, out of the big three, that is my favorite moment out of all the big three, was just that episode, because it just goes to show that even as a shonen series, it doesn't have to be about jumping the shark on powers or abilities. It can literally just be something as simple as, you're lightning, I'm rubber, you're screwed.
Yes, exactly. I like that. And we'll get to the interview questions really quick, but I do want to jump into one more conversation with you on, and that is we're jumping forward to today's anime. today's anime
Mm,
stuff. You know, the big three of today's anime, like Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero, like stuff like that. Um,
okay.
Now there's a anime. Have you ever heard of like a YouTube channel called Death Battle?
Yes.
Okay, so the newest Death Battle is coming out. Is going to
Mm,
be between a Deku from My Hero Academia versus
hmm
the kid from Black Clover with the giant sword.
So the issue is I've never watched Black Clover.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like I've never seen Black Clover at all either. So I didn't know like if it's a fair fight or not. I always saw the comparisons with Gon from Hunter x Hunter versus Deku from Black Clover. And I thought that I mean from Deku from My Hero. So I thought that'd be kind of cool little fight up. So this one's going to be different. And I had someone come in my store, and I mentioned this to them, and they straight up just said, "Oh no, the guy from Black Clover is 100% gonna win because his whole shtick is that he can nullify magic with his sword." And now this brings up a conversation I want to have with you. Do you think quirks are considered as magic?
So quirks are, so by definition within the My Hero Academia universe, quirks are genetic and not magic.
Mm-hmm. So I thought so too, but we pretty much had the conversation that it depends on what Death Battle categorizes. Because to be fair, Death Battle has been really lazy with like who wins what and like how power levels are like increased and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They usually go like, well, because this person fought this person that fought this person who was related to this person did this
Yeah.
one thing. Obviously, this one other person should be able to do it too. It's like, not really. That's not how that works. But okay, like the argument's really dumb. But I wonder if they consider it as magic, then I could definitely see like Deku not be able to do anything. But if it doesn't, now I'm wondering if like Deku has a chance. So I'm really curious to seeing how this fight comes out. You know, because even though I don't really agree with a lot of the outcomes with Death Battle, I will definitely say that I would be really interesting to see the background story of what the Black Clover guy is, and I want to know how powerful they're gonna make Deku is, because
The only issue I have that might work against Deku is the fact that his powers literally injure himself.
mm,
Even with the whole kicking thing, he has to keep it under a certain amount, or else he'll start injuring himself.
see that's another thing I'm kind of worried about because we don't know Deku's highest potential. Like in the manga, he's like the most craziest mother effer out there, you know,
Yeah.
and he's like really big. But in the anime, he still like has to keep all his power level at like 40% tops. Like he's not that strong. And in Death Battle, you are the strongest you can be at that time. So
Yeah.
I don't know what time period because they had Tanjiro from Demon Slayer versus a JoJo character, and I thought that was really unfair because
Oh yeah.
Tanjiro in all the anime so far has been getting his butt kicked every single time, every single season. Like he's literally getting wiped to the floor, and he barely gets out alive with every single fight he does. Well, and the anime is not done, the manga is not done. Actually, no, the manga is done, I think.
Manga is done.
Okay, the manga is done. So, but they didn't use any of the stuff from the manga. I feel like, while JoJo is freaking JoJo, like every character.
JoJo and overpowered characters are synonymous.
Yeah. So why would you have this little dinky kid, who still hasn't been fleshed out that well, first off against a guy who's been fleshed out many times and who's considered as like super crazy overpowering? Like, I just don't understand why they would put a person without being fully fleshed out. And I feel like this is going to be the same problem with Deku and this Black Clover guys, because I don't know how fleshed out each character are in the manga, but if they don't, then I feel like Deku is going to be a huge disadvantage.
Yeah, and I think that's also an issue with just pitting people against each other that are both from like high-powered shonen series. Is that, you know, the thing is that they're only as strong as what they're put up against. You know, so, you know, what if the enemies in My Hero Academia come off as visibly weaker than the heroes in Black Clover, because it's different types of power sets, it's different sets of rules in the universe that they have to play by. You know, it's really hard to say, oh, well, you know, this person can do this in their universe, but does that actually translate into being the same kind of power in the other universe? Because it's a different set of rules where it's magic instead of metahumans.
Yo, you agree? Yeah, I 100% agree. And I think that's what the whole death battle is, like the biggest flaw of death battle is because they don't really tribute both universes, you know? Because here's another good question. The whole day-old argument of Saitama, One Punch Man, beating Goku, you know, there's the whole argument on that. And here's the thing, like, Goku, Dragon Ball Z, they do, like, crazy workouts in, like, crazy high intensity, like, gravity pull thing, right? While Saitama is a joke character. That's what he's known for, is being a joke character. And he only does like 300 push-ups, 3 kilometers run, 300 sit-ups, like a day for 3 years, something like that. Can't remember what it is.
It's like 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every day.
Yeah, for like 3 years, right? And that's how he became One Punch Man. And they say that like he can beat anyone in one punch. That's his whole gimmick, is he can beat everyone in one punch. But if you tribute Goku, who has done a lot more crazier stuff than that through his entire lifespan, he should be 10 times stronger than Saitama, because if that's all Saitama has done, then he should be a lot stronger. But then now we need to know what universe is they in, because who knows? Like, the universe that Goku goes into might be a lot different than Saitama's universe. But they don't do that in Death Battle. They just put everyone into our universe that we are in, and then just put the abilities to the test, you know? Which I don't think adds up.
I feel like that just doesn't translate well for a satire character like Saitama, because he is literally a joke character, a satire. He parodies high power level animes like Dragon Ball Z. So, you know, can you put this parody against the original, and does it work? Because it's kind of stupid.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And so I recently watched the death battle of Saitama versus Popeye.
Yeah. That was a great one. I love that one. That was fun. But I
liked that one because it didn't come down to who could hit harder. It came down to the fact that Popeye can literally split people into pieces of different things with his punches as a cartoon character. And like, I like that. I actually really like Death Battle a lot more back when they would do superheroes against each other that lived in similar universes, like Spider-Man versus Batman, Iron Man versus Batman. Actually, almost anyone versus Batman, and it just shows that if Batman does not have the time to plan ahead, he is actually not that strong.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not really, like, I'm not a comic book person. I have not really grown up watching comic books. I'm pretty sure if I did have comic books when I was a kid, I would probably be a huge comic book fan, because the characters, when I learn about them, are really interesting and I love them. But I just feel like Death Battle has a really terrible thing against Batman, because every single time they put him in the Death Battle, he always loses, except for against Captain America, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah, he always loses, and generally his proteges also tend to lose, like Red Hood and Nightwing. And I mean, it's just,
I think they just don't like
they're
Batman.
regular people versus superhumans.
True. Like, yeah, they're really cool on their own, but they're not superhumans. Pretty much.
Like, they're really cool and they work within their own setting and rules, but like, you throw them out into just a random death battle on the street, and you know, they have a harder time. But no, it's just.
No, I like it.
They've been doing Death Battle for so long, though. I feel like they're also kind of running out of ideas on how to do it.
They had SpongeBob versus Aquaman.
I saw that.
And in the actual episode, they're like, Aquaman's gonna lose. Like, he sucks. Yeah, no, he's definitely gonna lose. I was like, then why are we watching this?
Yeah.
Like, it was funny to see SpongeBob fight, but like, why did you make this episode if everyone knew what the outcome was gonna be? Like, it wasn't even close.
At least when they did Deadpool versus the Masked,
that was kind of cool.
That was kind of cool, because up front they were like, we are doing this just to kill Deadpool.
Yeah.
Because he keeps winning and we hate him.
Well, it felt like it was a series. It was like a TV series, you know, because we saw
Yeah.
Deadpool first, then we saw him again, fight again, and then we saw him fight again, I think. And Abel was like, "We need to kill Deadpool. What can we figure out a way?" And like, I know a way. So now it was like, "Oh, I'm engaged now because we've seen his journey, and now we can see his conclusion." So I thought that was really clever to kind of make like a little in series kind of like storyline within Death Battle. I thought that was really cool, but I don't know. I don't know. I liked it better when they had like the Sega Man versus Chris shoot
Oh,
uh
Segata Sanshiro.
yeah for Chuck Norris. Yeah, that was great. I love that.
Oh, that was fun.
No one won. It just was so epic to see the fight. You know, like
Yeah.
I feel like the Kool-Aid Man versus Randy Savage was kind of lame because they didn't even mention the fact that like, he literally stopped the Armageddon of the world.
Mm.
I feel like they didn't attribute that. How dare? But
They
anyway,
can, they can sometimes pick and choose what they
oh,
count
they
as
definitely
canon,
pick and
not canon.
choose. They like I was so irritated when they had the Warframe versus Raiden from Revengeance.
Mhm.
Because they were like, "Hey, this thing is sponsored by Warframe. Oh, this does not detect our outcome for the battle. Oh, hey, the guy from Warframe won. Huh? Coincidence." It's like, guys, we know what you did. We know the random Warframe.
Maybe you should go play that game.
Yeah, you should play that game. He seems super broken. You just have to, play Warframe and pay for all the extra characters you can play in Warframe.
Oh, I fucking hate paywalls in games these days. It's
Yeah.
stupid.
Like, remember back in the day when if you want to unlock a character, you just played the game?
You played the game, or you went online and found game
Secrets,
codes, or you had to use your game genie and pray that it didn't corrupt your game.
Oh, wait, those are the fun parts. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, but no, like no. So like I, as someone who grew up on like Super Nintendo and PlayStation 2 games, I really miss getting games completed in their full form on release.
Yep. Now that
Like I
just...
don't not having to wait for them to keep patching things so that it works properly on release, or releasing DLC that really feels like it should have been included in the base game, or putting characters behind paywalls, or there's been a few games where it's like, oh well, you order the DLC and it gives you a more satisfying ending to the game, and it's just like, why was that not included in the main story?
Yep, 100%. Like, that's why, man, now attributing from anime to comic books to YouTube to now gaming. I love this conversation we're having. But yeah, like, this is one of the reasons why I think Elden Ring this year should beat God of War for Game of the Year, because it was the first game that came out in a long time that gave us a fresh air of just a game that was complete, done, no microtransactions at all, and it was just fun to play. You just played it, and it had a lot of content, a lot of enjoyment, and there will be DLC later on, but not right off the bat. It was nice and filled, and we didn't have that for a very long time. Like
outside of JRPGs,
yeah.
a lot of the AAA games that come out just never come out completed or without microtransactions. I think I bought a game recently where it was like, oh, you bought this game. Well, if you want the extra ending plus all these character DLCs, you need to pay an extra 15, 20 bucks. And I'm just like, I just dropped 60 on this game. Why are you asking me to pay an extra 20?
Because money. Give me money. Money.
I don't want to give them money. I want the finished game. So, ooh.
Hello, Pyromancer. The newest Pokemon says hi. Oh, hello.
The newest Pokemon does say hi. Pyromancer is someone from my community. Hi, Pyro.
Nice. Hello.
Pyro knows that Pyro and I have both been complaining about how the game is released unoptimized.
Yeah.
It's still fun to play, but there's definitely gripes and issues with it.
Well, and like, going back to what we were saying before, like, about that, is that like I wouldn't mind it if it was an indie company. Gripes, games like that have it. But this is Pokemon we're talking about. This is the biggest franchise in the world. It
Oh, and
has
it's not,
enough money to sustain it. Like, I don't
and
know
it's not
why.
like it's not like it's Arceus where it came from a third party company that's a
Yeah.
lot less financially adept as the Pokemon company. This was a main Game Freak release, and they looked at it and went, we could optimize it, maybe do a few more things to make it really polished, but we got a schedule to keep. Just push it out. We
Just push it out.
maybe
It's
we'll
Pokemon.
patch it later.
Yep, and I think I just saw the sales numbers for it, and it is the most sold Pokemon game to date. Like it's the highest. It outsold Let's Go Pikachu, Eevee, and Sun and Moon. I don't know if it's like to date, but it's like it broke those two.
I
That's why I
feel
saw
like
the
every
grade.
future iteration of Pokemon is just going to continue to outsell the previous one because every time they release a game, there's more Pokemon fans.
No, 100%, and that's probably like the gripe that we have is that the fact that like they can just release a Pokemon game. They just put a game on there, and slap Pokemon on it, and people will buy it no matter what. Especially nowadays, how big Pokemon is right now. Like they can just throw it in there and like, oh, it's broken. Well, don't worry, we'll patch it eventually. Maybe. Let me just count all the money you guys gave me first, and then we'll think about it. Maybe we'll just
I
wait
mean,
another 3 years and then release another Pokemon game.
at this point, I feel like Pokemon's an even bigger franchise than Mario. At
Oh
this
no,
point, in my opinion.
100%. Like, yeah, Mario is pretty iconic and stuff like that, but Pokemon is definitely recognized worldwide. Just show
Yeah.
that little white rat creature to any little kid in Africa, and they will know what the name is.
Yeah, no, like Pokemon is. I really wait. It's like It's like they're like, oh, well, we don't want to spend too much money on it. Yes, but if you spend more money on it, you make more money.
Yeah, I just don't understand.
Be more concerned about putting out a good product than just making money. You
Yeah, but
know.
they don't care about that. They already make so much money that they don't really care. They know for a fact they can just release a game that's not even fully finished, and it will just make them even more money. Like they don't have to do that. They have no competition. They have to worry about anything. Like Digimon was the only competition they technically had back in the day, and we see how Digimon's doing. So like they literally have nothing.
Digimon mostly has like an indie underground following.
Yeah, they do.
Because the games just no one can agree on the Digimon games which ones are the best.
Yeah, but Pokemon can't. The like sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you, my friend. I just want to mention what Pyro was saying is that yes, Prime got delays and Kingdoms got delays, but they're not Pokemon where they have to come out with 3 years each and every year. Every 3 years, there has to be a new Pokemon game. Kind of like how Call of Duty is, there has to be a new Call of Duty game every single year. And this is the first time we had a Call of Duty that actually is taking a year break. And that's crazy to think about. But Pokemon, nope. It has to come out every 3 years, which you're right. It should have a delay and it should work on its quality. But they don't have any competition, so they can just release whatever they want. Sorry, go back to what you're saying.
It's also a difference of company, though, because Pokemon's controlled by Game Freak. They just have a agreement with Nintendo that they release their games on Nintendo platform, whereas games like Prime 4 is a Nintendo property owned and created by Nintendo's offices. And so Nintendo does not release their own games unless they are complete, they are polished, because Nintendo, despite also being money hungry assholes, actually wants to put out completed product because at least they have that going for them.
No, you're 100% right. There's the reason why they call it the Nintendo Polish, because they do not release a date on a game unless they know that game is 100% already done and they're just working on the patches for it. While you're right, Pokemon is just licensed to Nintendo, so they just can only be exclusively on a Nintendo product, but they're not a Nintendo franchise.
Correct.
I see that. That's really understandable. I know. We'll see. Maybe Nintendo would be like, "Hey, what the frick? This game is getting a lot of bad reviews right now."
Honestly, I had mentioned this in a Discord with other streamer friends before. They're also playing Pokemon. That I'm surprised that Nintendo doesn't have a QA team that checks the games being released on their platform to make sure that they meet a certain criteria before being released. Like don't release a half-finished shitty game on our console. Make sure that shit is done before we will accept it and release it. But again, Pokemon is huge. It makes some big money for Nintendo and Game Freak, so they're probably just going, well, we want money anyway, so...
Yeah, it's probably like Nintendo's like, yeah, maybe we should test this game out before it comes out. And Pokemon's like, no, here's money. Here, just take the money. Don't worry about anything. Just here. Just go off. Go in your pool of money right now, and we'll take care of the Pokemon stuff. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry.
I mean, to be fair, I like money too, and the amount of money Pokemon makes, I might be also tempted to just be like, you gonna patch this later?
Yeah,
we'll patch it later. Yeah.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Oh my god. But yeah, no, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I really hope it does get patched because, in my opinion, all the gripes that Pokemon has right now is literally just like bug fixes. You know, like if they fix all the frame rate and the bug fixes, which I feel like they can do pretty easily, then it could be a very phenomenal game. It just came out terribly because, you know, it was rushed. It was definitely rushed.
Well,
you can't argue that it was rushed.
It gives me like Cyberpunk release vibes where it's like, you know, you have this huge game that everyone's looking forward to. It's going to be really big, and then it releases, and there is just so much bad on the release about the game quality, the graphics, the bugs, the glitches, all of that, where it just kind of sinks the title for a while, and then as they patch it, more people start coming back to it.
It could be
Pokemon though has such a huge following that people are griping about it, but still playing through the issues.
Well, that's probably what it is. It just sucks because like that mentality is a very terrible mentality as gaming as a corporation and as a community, and that's because there's an old saying that the head of, like, I think Bethesda, I want to say Bethesda or EA, they went out saying that they say that it doesn't matter how well a game comes out, is how well the game ends. And that's a terrible mentality because that means it can come out terrible, but as long as it gets patched better later on, then it's okay. Which, you know, we should never give credit for that, you know, because if like you said, if we pay $60 for a game, it needs to be $60 worth of value. It shouldn't be $20 down the line, and then it's up to scuff, you know?
Yeah, I mean, so, but also look at what Bethesda used to release is its games like the Elder Scrolls games, which always come out buggy as heck, and then patched over time, and even after patches, like even to this day, Skyrim has a lot of bugs in it. But it's still a very beloved game.
It's the most downloaded mod on like Skyrim PC is literally to patch all the bugs that is issues with it.
Oh yeah.
Nintendo at least used it to put a literal seal of quality on the games. No idea if the newest Pokemon has it. Probably not. They don't need to, because that quality seal could also be bought, it sounds like.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the back of the gaming box for Scarlet because I bought a physical copy. And the back of it has the official Nintendo seal on the back of the box.
Yep, either it has to be really good quality or you have to throw a lot of money into it to get the seal of quality.
And Pokemon has all the money.
Oh yeah. I don't think there's a company out there that doesn't have enough money like Pokemon does. But yeah, I know, we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping it's fixed and patched. I'll be one of those Pokemon fans that's just going to jump into it and still enjoy it, even with all the bugs and fixes. But I will definitely say that you can't get away with like games nowadays not being like on par with like Elden Ring kind of quality anymore, because now the community is so big. Like it used to be like a niche, like a thing. Like if you're a gamer, like a nerd, you were kind of like the underground kind of people, and whenever a game came out, you kind of just dealt with it. But now that the gaming community is probably worldwide huge, you can't settle with just a okay release and have some bugs issues here and there. A game will literally die if it has any issues with it. Look at Anthem. Like, this game was literally dead in the water before the game even came out because of how many bugs and issues it had. And if your game comes out like that, you really won't even be able to create any more content for it. So it kind of seems like that gamers are now tired of seeing games come out terribly, and they have to see some kind of quality improvement before it comes out, or as people are just not going to be interested in it.
No, I can get behind that.
Mm.
I also think a lot of companies are looking more into long form gaming with games like Apex and Fortnite, Valorant, where they're looking into where they're trying to make these games where it's live service, so they can put out product less often and just have staff to patch and update rather than constantly making new games.
Well, you know what game did that, right? One game came out 10 years ago, and it's still making that company thousands upon thousands of millions of dollars. And this is what made all the other companies like, oh, we can do that? Oh, let's do our own. You know what game that is, right?
Which one?
GTA 5.
GTA 5. So I would say it's a mix of GTA 5, Final Fantasy 14, and World of Warcraft.
So World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy 15 is designed as a live service game, and usually you jump into it, you pay for like a monthly subscription or something like that, and that's how you do it. GTA was a fully priced $60 game that came out, and then people would put more money into it to keep the life being going. I think that's a little bit different because, again, like you said, you spent $60 for a game, and then they ask you to put another $20 or another $50 into the game to keep the game going. While with MMOs and RPGs, online ones, usually you don't pay that much money into it, or you put like a monthly fee into it, and then you get pretty much a full game, and then the game gets increased as time goes on, you know? So I feel like it's a little bit different because like
it is. You're right.
Yeah, so that's why I think that like GTA was the staple game that came out. That like this one game has made Rockstar so much money in the 10 years lifespan, and now all these other companies like, wait, I can just release one $60 game and it will just keep on giving me money as time goes on. I should go into that, and not many has succeeded. Only the ones that really have succeeded are the ones that are like the MMOs and the free gacha games and stuff like that. And so I feel like.
Yeah. So I'm looking at Pyro saying Pokemon refuses to do some sort of MMO. I'm just imagining them doing an MMO thing where it's like, so did you play Legends of Arceus?
Yes, I did.
Imagine if they did Legends of Arceus in an MMO style where you're raiding on boss Pokemon, but the combat is like Arceus combat, and it's just like, 4 to 6 people in those raids throwing their Pokemon at a boss Pokemon in MMO style. That like Pyro's right that Pokemon should like spend the time to put together a Pokemon MMO where they just have all the Pokemon in one place, but they're not going to do that because that would literally kill any future standalone titles that they want to do. Well, I mean, I'm sure people would still buy the standalone titles, but not in the larger numbers. If there was a Pokemon MMO out.
No, I agree. In my opinion, like Arceus was the game to test the waters to see if they could do stuff like that. I've always thought of Arceus as like the first step into a direction that will change Pokemon to a completely different style, because it was completely different. It was really unique. And now that we see that Scarlet and Violet is taking tidbits, not the whole thing, but take tidbits of that and trying to make something bigger, because we all agree that Pokemon doesn't listen to their fans. They never do. They listen to money. They listen to what sells. So they want to see how well an open world-ish Pokemon game would sell, so they tried it out with Sun and Moon with those little open areas. Then they did a bigger one in Arceus, and now they're doing an even bigger one with Scarlet and Violet. Watch. There will be an MMO Pokemon game. They just want to see people would actually buy it and like put money into it. And as long as the sales keep on going higher, they'll probably eventually do an MMO. And people will go right into it. And it'll be buggy as hell when it comes out.
I mean, just think of all the PvP in a
Oh yeah.
Pokemon MMO
Oh
though,
yeah. Well, like
because like
look at
people love PvP in Pokemon.
well, look at Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go already has elements like that where you can go in on a gym or on a raid battle of all these different people all fighting the same Pokemon. You know, they already
Oh
have
yeah.
like elements on that in the biggest one of the biggest apps in the world, Pokemon Go.
Well, I mean, PvP has always been a part of Pokemon because even back in Red and Blue, they had the link cable to link the
Yep.
Game Boys together to fight each other. I mean, like it's a no-brainer to do Pokemon as a PvE world with PvP elements in there.
Hmm.
Like it is literally set up to be an MMO adventure,
Yeah. So
and
yeah.
they're just not doing it because
So they want to see if it makes money. That's the main
yeah,
thing. Like if it makes money, they'll do it, and I'm pretty sure it will. And I think we're going to get to that eventually. It will definitely happen. Where there's going to be MMO, but they want to see if there's a way that they can make as much money from it before they actually jump into it, because they don't
yeah.
want to jump into something if they don't know if it's going to make them money.
They
I
can
think.
literally slap Pikachu's face on anything and make money.
Yeah, but they want to make more money. Want to make
Ah, money,
more money.
money,
Yeah.
money.
Yep. Exactly. That
Always
song.
money
Yep.
in a rich man's world.
Exactly. Exactly. Pretty much, like money rules everything nowadays, and Pokemon knows it. Definitely knows it.
Yeah.
So, I love this. We spent an hour just chatting and having fun, and I love it. But do you remember this is an interview?
Interview? What? You're asking
Right?
questions
What?
about
What?
myself? No.
What?
No.
What?
I mean,
So,
I guess I could be an open book for today.
yeah, you. I like that pun. That's a good pun. All right, well, let's get into some of the questions. For the ones who don't know, who just joined us, thank you. I welcome you. Thank you. Thank you. We have 15 questions we're going to ask our lovely demon book reader over here. And we're going to go into like questions like how he got into streaming, what his take on some of the games he's going to be playing in the future. We're going to get into his body, his model. We're going to go talk about his views on the community and then some tidbits of fun information about him. We also have a channel redeem that you guys can spin a wheel and a random question will pop up and he will have to answer it. So if you guys want to spin some wheels, you can definitely do that too. Again, of course, you can ask any questions you want to our lovely demon friend and we'll try and get to it as quickly as possible. So don't worry about it. So how about we get started? Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So the first question is, what made you want to get into streaming in the first place?
So that would be COVID.
You know what? A lot of people did. Actually, a lot of people did.
I feel like that's a huge thing for a lot of newer streamers into the media within the past couple of years who got into it. So I mean, you know, it's 2020, can't go to work, can't travel, everything's canceled. So before COVID happened, I'm a very extroverted person. I like going out and doing stuff. I like going out and seeing people. I had a personal goal every year. I would go to at least one major concert to go see a musical guest. So like I saw people from Japan like Perfume, Baby Metal, Calafina, Ginny Oops, a lot of these bands. I actually had tickets to go see the Radwimps perform in Dallas in 2020. The Radwimps is the band that does all the music for the movies like Your Name and Weathering with You, which got canceled because of COVID. But basically, I was someone who was constantly going out and doing stuff, and then suddenly I was stuck at home all the time. Like, even work was like, oh, you got to work from home now. And I'm just like, oh, no, fine. So for most of 2020, I stayed home. I was bored out of my mind. It was about mid 2020. A friend introduced me to Kuzuryu Koko from Hololive, and that's when I learned what VTubers are. So I learned what VTubers were through Koko and Hololive. My favorite Japanese VTuber is Pecora, by the way, that bunny life. And like I learned what VTubers are through that. And I'm watching them and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. I really like this. This seems like a very Japanese thing because all of the big VTubers then that everyone knew about were from Japan. And so when they introduced HoloLive English in the fall of 2020, where they had these English speakers doing streaming, that's when it clicked in my brain like, oh, I could do this too. And so, end of 2020, I started putting my social media together, started looking into artists for my design and stuff. And by January 2021, I had found my artist, I'd given them my design, and we had started working on it. And by February 5th of 2021, I started streaming as a PNG VTuber.
Hmm.
And
Wow.
so I attribute a lot of the motivation to do it to the English VTubers that came out in HoloLive EN, to COVID sucking up my ability to go out and do anything, taking away my ability to go out and do stuff with friends, and just giving me a lot of time and additional resources because, I had money because I wasn't spending my money to go out and do stuff. It was just sitting there waiting for me to go out and do stuff. So I'm just like, I can afford to pay for a VTuber model, some assets, and get set up like that. And so, yeah, I mean, a lot of the impetus for doing VTubing and streaming was to find a new outlet for socializing and spreading the things I enjoy with other people, because COVID took that away from me to do in
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
No, makes sense.
But,
Makes sense. I think that's still a really good story, and I think a lot of people have got into that. But I still love it whenever I hear it, because one of my favorite things about VTubers is the fact that there's something they've always wanted to try, but always feel like they can't. But then VTubers give them that avenue that allows them to actually be what they want to try to do.
yeah, I feel a lot of that comes with a lot of people have a lot of confidence issues in their appearance or voice, and a lot of people like being a little bit private about who they are or where they're from, and VTubing allows them to put themselves out there without doxing themselves
Mm,
or having to put a face to the voice directly.
true.
Like I love socializing with people online. Doesn't mean I want my face to be out there so they can find me.
Hmm.
I like having my private life separate from the VTubing life to a point.
Mm. Like,
People
which
don't need to know where I'm getting my pizza from.
Yeah, no, yeah, we can't let a demon bookworm who loves pizza go around and be like, "Hey guys, what's up?" And then they'd be like, "Hey, I heard your opinions on Pokemon," and they get really mad at you,
Mm.
stuff like that.
I heard you don't like how they did the new Pokemans.
Pokemans,
Pokemans.
Pokemons.
Mm.
Mm. Of course, the people in Texas are totally the biggest Pokemon fans. We all know that. We all know that.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I saw a lot of people in Chicago when Pokemon Go came out, and it was pretty crazy.
No, trust me. Like, it was pretty crazy over where I live too. We had every single person when Pokemon Go come out all meet up at our local college, and it was massive. Like, it was so big. I never saw a gathering like this all in one place because of an app on a phone. That was
Yeah.
insane.
So, so the year it came out here, they had a Pokemon Go meetup at Millennium Park, which is the huge park in downtown Chicago near the lakefront,
Hmm.
and it was barely any walking room
Yeah,
on the day of the meetup. It was insane. The Pokemon servers could not keep up with the amount of people all at Millennium Park at once. It was just madness. And there were people dressed up in full Pikachu suits and everything all over the place. And yeah, no, Pokemon's got money. Pokemon's got influence. It is what it is.
yep,
But yeah, like it is insane. And
yep. No, definitely, 100%. Hey, next question.
Mhm.
What excites you the most about being a VTuber gamer?
VTuber gamer. So I fashion myself as a variety streamer. I do games and a bunch of other stuff. But as far as a gamer goes, Honestly, when I first started it, it was all about sharing games that I enjoy that had already come out and been out for a while. So, I really wanted to share some of my favorite games that I wanted to play. So, like, when I first started streaming, I was playing Grandia 2, which is an old JRPG from the Dreamcast and PlayStation 2 era. And I was playing that and sharing that with people. Recently, I played through the first Lunar game, which came out originally on the PlayStation 1 and Sega Saturn. And then I played some of Lunar 2. I haven't finished it yet, but I need to get back to that. And a lot of it is sharing games that I enjoy, which includes older games that I enjoy, not necessarily only the newer stuff. So, like Grandia games, Lunar games, Harvest Moon. I'm a big fan of Harvest Moon from being a kid. Um, right now, I'm actually playing through the Disgaea series, which is an old JRPG series that's still really popular to this day. And like, it is a big thing that I'm doing on my channel where I want to play through all the old games to the point where I even have a custom model for those, which I can show right now.
Oh snap! Oh, I love it. This guy, I love it.
Disgaea. So like now I'm a pretty dude. And
Dude,
this
yeah,
whole
dude.
this whole thing has its own like stuff where it's like
Yay!
here we go.
I love
Hello,
this. Hi,
Videoteca Prinny here.
dude.
What's that? You want to eat? You want to eat the Prinny? No, don't eat the Prinny. Don't
No,
eat
no,
the
no,
Prinny.
no.
Don't eat the Prinny.
No, you
And then,
explode.
well, that's when I get thrown. I'll explode, which
Mm.
is not good either. I don't want to explode.
Yeah.
No, 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 no.
Nah,
no,
dude.
no.
Not dude.
Not dude at all. But it's always Biblioteca here at your service, ready to play the games and
Dude.
get on task.
Get on task, dude.
Get on task. But yeah, I have a few models. But like though that like the pretty one and the main one are pretty much my favorites. I can change back to normal Viv now. There we go.
Yeah, I like this guy. This guy's just really cool, but I will definitely say that I haven't actually beaten one of those games before. I just played a couple of them. But I will always know that the preenies are the ones that are humans, like trapped in one of those like bobs. Excuse me. But yeah, it's humans trapped into those like things that can be thrown and blow up. And all thing I know is that they say dude.
Yes. So the original Japanese for printies, they end their sentences in the word "si." So they would be like, "I'm a printy si." And so when they did it in English, they're like, rather than do that word into a little translation, we'll just make them say "dude" at the end of every sentence.
I love
And honestly, ever since I played a Disgaea game, I've always spelled "dude" D-O-O-D.
Yeah,
online
dude.
because it is just so much fun rather than the D-U-D-E.
No, I love it. I love it. I keep hitting my mic. I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. I definitely like the Preenie series, like the Preenie and the Disgaea series. I need to, if I had more time in my day, I would definitely try it and actually invest in it. But I do like that a lot. A game I recommend you checking out that just came out recently that I think you would love a lot is Harvest Villa.
I think, is it Harvest Villa or Harvest Stella? I think it's Harvest Stella, maybe.
I thought it was Harvest Villa.
I heard a few people talk about it recently. A couple people I know who play Harvest Moon games were a little down on it for some reason. I don't remember exactly why.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
I've been a bit reluctant to start on it or pick it up yet. But I've also got a whole backlog of games because, like I said, I'm playing the Disgaea series. I want to play through all of them. And I'm currently in the middle of one right now. So I've got like a whole another like 5 games in the main series, plus D2, plus Prinny, I can be the hero dude. So
I wish you luck. I wish you luck on all of that because that sounds like very trifle thing. But yeah, it's also it's Harvest Stella. You're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
But I would definitely recommend it. I would say don't get shy away from like what people say because so far all I've said is that it's a pretty great game. Yeah, the Square Enix quest to make all their games look like Final Fantasy. Yeah, Final Fantasy, it's a big moneymaker for them, so it makes sense.
I mean, it makes sense. I'm not a huge Final Fantasy nerd. Like, I play 7, I played a little of 8, I played a little of 9, I played a little of 10 and did not like it. And then I played 14. I probably put the most hours into 14. And I
Mm-hmm.
played I played 15 till the end, but I didn't finish the final boss on 15. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, like I get why the Final Fantasy formula might be fun for some people, but like I rarely ever play a game, one of their games to finish. And like if people start getting excited about it, I'm like, yeah, they're pretty good games, but they're nothing that I get excited about.
Yeah.
Like I get a lot more excited for stuff like Disgaea, um Luminous, which is an old JRPG series on the DS, and a bunch of other stuff. But I think it's just a different style. I'm definitely into the more uh, animated, cartoony style rather than the direction Final Fantasy Square Enix has taken their games, where they're just trying to make the characters look more and more and more realistic,
Mm-hmm.
rather than just sticking to a more otherworldly look.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I would like to be more of a Final Fantasy fan, but again, like I told you in earlier, I never grew up with that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
like now that they're doing the remakes and it's more actiony, I kind of want to jump into it. We'll see how it goes. But
I would
we'll see.
say
We'll see.
I would say my favorite Final Fantasy game was probably Crisis Core on the PSP,
And they're doing a remake
because
of
it was
that.
pure action
I'm looking
and they're
forward to
redoing.
playing the remake of it.
I am looking forward to Bespoken, I think is
Spoken.
the
Oh,
which is
I
a game.
I'm curious. I don't know much about how the combat is gonna work. I'm really curious, but it could be a really big game. It did get delayed quite a bit, which is fine, but I
Yeah.
still don't know much about it personally. But it could be really good. It could be really good.
So I'm gonna definitely play it because I bought a Red Devil graphics card to upgrade my computer, and it came with it as a free game.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
So I'm kind of like, yo, free Square Enix
Yo,
game, say
hey,
less.
just go for it. Just go for it. Let me know
So
what.
I looked, yeah. So
Uh,
I looked into it, and it looks like it is more of a kind of almost like a Horizon style game, where it's very much live action with menu controls blended in to the live action world, and you play as a sorcerer, and you like combine and fling spells at enemies in real time
mm,
for combat and moving around the map. And as I said earlier, Slayers is my biggest thing. It's high fantasy, so playing a game where I get to be a spell slinger and sorcerer and do shit with that in the world is like my jam. So, like, I'm
well,
looking forward to.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on it. The one thing I want to know is like, because with all the trailers and all the gameplay they showed off, you seem to be able to do a lot of really cool stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
they still, in my opinion, I have not seen too much of it yet. But I have not seen too much of the actual game. And so I don't know how it's going to be like a cooldown system, a mana system. Is different locations will have different like abilities you can use, or can use anything you want at any time you want. Because that might be interesting. Because they showed the gameplay for Hogwarts Legacy not that long ago, and it kind of has like a Magica like Fable style to the
Mm-hmm.
combat, which is actually I'm super down for. So I want to see
Yeah,
what the combat's going to look like before I go into Forspoken. But yeah, sounds like
yeah,
a goofy Magica. Yeah, it kind of is.
yeah. It sounds like it, and I don't like. It's one of those games where I'm not sure if I had to spend money on it, if I would buy it, because I don't know a whole lot about it. But because I'm getting it for free, I'm
Just
kind of
jump
like,
on it.
yo, might as well try it.
I'll have to
Um,
check out your stream when you stream it, if you stream it.
yeah, I'll probably stream it. I plan to stream it. I honestly put out a advertisement to stream it based on the original release date, and then it got delayed. And I'm like,
Well, shoot. Well, darn.
I was like, let's play it October 13th, and then it's like, oh, this isn't coming out till January, and I'm like, new plan, January
New
2023. Let's
plan.
go. But
Let's see. Let's see.
but yeah, so I'm looking. I definitely look forward to playing that. I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, so I haven't looked at the Harry Potter stuff that's come out. I heard about the Legacy game.
I think you should
Um,
try it. Like, I'm not a huge Harry Potter book fan, but I did like the world building of like the whole sorcerer kind of style like that. And I think it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be
so
interesting.
I'm the opposite way. I actually like the books because I grew up reading them as a kid.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
And I didn't get into the whole media portrayal. Like, I didn't really care for the movies, a lot of the games they did, any of that stuff I wasn't really into. So, like, as far as anything outside of the books, I don't really pay attention to much. And so they're talking about the legacy game, and I'm like, maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I
I
don't
would
play.
recommend.
So
Looks
I'm
interesting.
I'm a terrible gamer. I don't play games unless I usually don't play games unless I'm actively streaming them,
Mm,
which is also one of the reasons I got into streaming was to force myself to sit down and play through my backlog of video games.
nice.
Because until I was streaming, I would literally just sit on my ass on my couch and watch YouTube all day during my free time. And the day would just go away. And so I'm like, I got these games I want to play. I need to motivate myself to play these games. I'm going to stream them. And by streaming them, I'm going to force myself to play these games. Certain games I don't need that, like Pokemon I can play off stream and just like blaze through it, and that's fine. But like for a lot of the longer form games, it takes me time. I can quickly lose interest if I don't stream them. It can be hard to start them unless I don't stream them.
Makes
So I
sense.
use streaming as a way to push myself to play video games.
Nope. Legit. I think that's a good idea. I got myself wanting to stream games I've never wanted to play before, but I was kind of interested in playing, and I played on stream, and they became one of my favorite games of all time. So I definitely see
Nice.
that point. Definitely see your point.
Yeah, it's setting aside time to spend it doing something you'll enjoy, to make sure you do it. Otherwise, you might waste that time doing something else.
Mm, I agree. I agree. I like that. That's a good idea to go for. Cool. Cool. All right.
Mhm.
So here's a little interesting conversation I would like to have with you, and I think you
Yeah.
might be able to answer it very interestingly.
Yeah.
Interestingly. Okay, are you ready for it?
Right.
So you're an Oni. You're like a demon kind of person,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
There's a lot of demons out there in the VTuber world, aren't there?
Mhm.
So what do you do to help you stand out? Oh no, that's not the right question. This is a question. There you go. What do you do to help you stand out a little
I'm probably the least demony demon out there. Honestly,
bit?
when I first started doing the VTubing thing, a lot of people. So back when indie VTubing first kicked off, there was a lot of demon VTubers, and a lot of them played to the demon character, where they might be friendly, but they would also play themselves a little standoffish, or they would say things like, "Oh, I'm going to do demony things." And I'm just sitting there like the fucking golden Labrador Retriever demon going, "Hey, you want to be friends? You want to be friends? Hey, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Positivity and kindness spread around the world," kind of stuff. And like that's still a lot of what I do today. A lot of what I do today is just gentle reminders to people. We live in a really shitty world. Be kind, spread positivity, don't be a jackass, kind of
True.
stuff.
True.
You
True.
know, I just want people. I do my best to be a good and decent person every day, and and my brain has this expectation that if I do good things, that it will cause more people to be decent and good and do good things, and that's my hope. And so, like, I don't post about it constantly on Twitter, but every once in a while, I will post a message where it's like, "Hey, remember to be kind to yourself and to others. Spread the positivity. It can change someone's day. The world is full of so much garbage already. Don't add to it." Um,
Aw, you're
and
really
then
the
on top
opposite
of
of a
that,
demon.
I also promote people I promote people to read. You know, um, I want people to read. I really dislike people who stay willingly ignorant of things in the world. I really dislike it when people voice an opinion that's based on misinformation, or they close themselves off to other people's opinions, or don't listen or read to facts or anything. And I also really promote reading because it's something I really enjoy, and it's something that I feel really helped expand my mind and interests into so many different things. Because, I do a lot of things. I like to play tabletop RPGs like Dungeons and Dragons. I like to write stories. I like to do character design. I like to do art. I like a lot of music. I want to make my own music someday. And I still read a lot, and I do the streaming. I used to write short form improv skits for anime convention panels back when I was an anime con goer and panelist. I just do a lot of creative things, and I feel like reading supported a lot of those creative ideas, and I want a lot of other people to be able to, benefit from that and experience that and just have the wealth of knowledge and expanding of the horizons that you get from reading, because you get inspiration on the world around you, and you can also get inspiration from the books you read. And I feel like a lot of VTubers especially draw on a lot of inspiration from the world around them and the content that they're into. And I just want people to enjoy themselves.
No, I agree,
You know?
100%.
Yeah.
Hi, Cookie Crumble.
Hello, Cookie.
But yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. I think you should definitely try your absolute hardest to like get people to realize that the world is not a nice place, and we need more positivity in the world. And I agree with that 100%.
No, and like I spend a lot of my time collabing and spending time socializing with VTubers and streamers in the same space and mindset of the world kind of sucks, and we gotta do our part to try and make a little rays of sunshine to hit the places we can get them to. And
I
it's
got
just
I gotta say, you are probably the most wholesome demon I've ever gotten on my show ever.
Oh,
So
just don't look at my just don't look at my likes on Twitter, and you'll keep that keep
well,
that vision.
well, I am looking at your Twitter right now, and so far I do see some interesting characters. A little cat with giant paws and giant personalities for an art raffle. Yes, 100%. Yeah, I see some stuff on here that I just think you're very cultured, but definitely still wholesome.
I
And
mean,
you're friends you're friends with Amelia, so yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not all wholesome.
I
And
mean,
and you like your cat girls. You like your cat girls. I can definitely tell you like your cat girls.
So no, so actually, my favorite are bunny girls.
Oh well, you're in the Asha clan.
Aisha clan
Aisha
from
clan.
Outlaw Star.
Yep.
So some old school anime Twitter account posted a graphic from Outlaw Star, and that just kicked off me going back to much younger adult years, going, "Wow, Aisha clan's really pretty," and puberty and shit. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna spend a few posts just posting Aisha clan and being like, "Damn, still thinking about that cat girl." But no, generally speaking, my big thing is actually bunny girls, and it's to the point where my community and friends will just send me bunny girl art, and it's just
You
they're
definitely like your
feeding
bunny
the
girl.
demon with bunny girl art.
Yeah, they definitely like you definitely like your cat bunny girl art. This is what I'm noticing on here.
Kimono Mimi, Animal Ear, yeah,
Yeah.
Monster Girls,
Monster girls,
absolutely.
yes, exactly. Monster girls are the best girls. Monster girls are the best girls.
Honestly, the best thing to come out of Japan is Monster Girls.
Well, not the best thing.
Oh, you're right, Slayers exists.
There you go. There you go. But yeah, no, I agree. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. All right, cool. Sweet. All right, next question, and it's gonna be a nice little tidbit for your fans out there. And that is, why am I keep on messing up today? What games are you looking forward to playing on stream?
So
In the
I
future?
stated earlier I'm playing the Disgaea series, so definitely more of those as time goes on as we play through the games. I'm not going to look to 100% them or anything, but I'm going to play through the main stories of each one, at least, and maybe do some of the side quest stuff. But the point is to get through the games, and there's a bunch of them, so I imagine this is going to be an undertaking for years to come. And then also, I recently joined stuff like Game Pass.
Oh, okay. So on the Xbox and your PC, right?
Yeah. So I have a PC. I don't have an Xbox. So I have the Game Pass for PC, and I never played the Dishonored series before. So I got a friend
Oh.
who recommended I play the Dishonored series on stream. So that'll come down the pipeline, playing the Dishonored series. We just started Sniper Elite 5.
Mm.
I'm gonna be. I recently got Gang Beasts, which got recommended to me. I have the new Saints Row, but I've heard a lot of iffy things about that, so I'm not sure about
Eh.
that one.
Yeah, don't stream that one. Just play that one. Just play that one.
Bespoken is one that I'm looking forward
The
to.
backlog grows.
Yes, Pyro,
True.
it does. It does grow. Um, I want to maybe do Darkest Dungeon on stream. I haven't played it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people play it and it looks interesting. And then tried Gloomhaven through the Epic Store. Gloomhaven's a board game, and they have made a digital version of it. It's super hard. It is like ridiculously hard.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, what else is there besides this guy, Bespoken?
So, do you like visual novels?
So I like visual novels. I'll play some. I've played some shorter ones on stream before, or done them in collabs with people, so that we take turns voicing them.
Mm-hmm.
I've not played one super recently outside of, unless you include Monster Prom as one.
No, I could definitely see that as a visual novel. Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
The ones I was thinking about is that I feel like you'd be interested in like the Danganronpa series or like the Ace Attorney series.
So I got recommended. I actually got gifted the Ace Attorney series. I've not played it yet. The Danganronpa series, I don't know what about it, but just something about it always kind of rubbed me in a way where I was never interested in it. And I've watched other people play it a bit, and I'm just like, maybe not my thing. So part of being a positive ray of sunshine is that I don't really like things that are very despairing.
Yeah, there's a lot of despair in Danganronpa.
Yeah, but I do love horror movies, so I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, that actually defeats the whole purpose of what you just said. What?
I don't like watching people despair long term, I guess.
All right, okay.
But I can sit down and watch people despair for like an hour or two, maybe.
Don't watch Goblin Slayer then.
I watched the first couple episodes of it, and that was about it.
Yeah, you probably love the first episode.
If I may, actually, building off of Goblin Slayer, if I may recommend a book series that's currently out. It's a light novel series from Japan. It's called Orc Eroica, and it is a light novel series with art provided by Asanagi, who is known for being a porn artist from Japan, but this is a non-porn light novel series. But it's about a orc warrior who was a champion of his people in raiding villages, taking the women, and all that. But because he was so busy raiding and taking over these villages, he never got laid. And so the story is literally about this champion orc going around trying to build his harem, and along the way of rescuing these women from evil and becoming more of a hero rather than the villain he started as.
Nice. I like it. Maybe I'll check it out, definitely.
Yeah, it's a fun one. It's a fun one. And like every book is a different girl that he comes along and meets along the way. And I just like the whole idea framed of this orc who is a total evil badass is now slowly becoming a hero while trying to lose his virginity.
I wish him luck.
Yeah. So, yeah. But, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that's
cool.
about it. But like Disgaea, Dishonored, Sniper Elite 5, Bespoken is one I want to play, and we'll see what else comes down the pipeline. Maybe if we get another Pokemon game like Arceus, I'll play that one on stream. Arceus, I actually ended up not playing on stream, except for a few streams where I just did some of the extra content.
Nice. It makes sense. Okay, this is gonna be something that Pyro might like, but what of any games you want to play with your fans?
So I haven't done any community nights in a while, but community nights I would do stuff. Whoop,
Oh,
sorry, that's me dropping my water bottle.
oh
No
no,
worries, it didn't leak.
that's good. That's good.
It was already closed. But like I'll sometimes do stuff like Gartic Phone, which I cheat at because I have a drawing tablet, so I can actually draw.
Nice,
And
nice.
then stuff like maybe Among Us or Town of Salem, stuff like that, or games I like to play with friends and fans.
Nice, nice.
I'll also like open up for like Gartic Phone
Wow.
Let's Play like 5 months ago. Hush, hush, hush. But also like Fortnite or Apex, I would play with friends on stream or and off stream. And if I play a game that has multiplayer enabled in it, I'll usually invite people, like either people in my community or other streamers to join me, because I honestly enjoy collabing a lot because I find it a lot easier to stream and bounce off of someone as another personality in the room rather than just doing things by myself.
I agree. I agree. I think actually when I did my stream, I actually had Cookie over there be with me when I did the Pokemon stream, and the
Mhm.
Pokemon stream was so much fun because I
Mhm.
had someone to bounce off with. We all like
Oh yeah.
agreed that your mom in Pokemon, is like having
Mhm.
is like getting it on with all the neighbors, and the one girl that you meet, Nimona,
Yeah.
is a yandere who's like really into battling, and we had talking about a different kind of battling. It's so much fun.
Oh.
Oh yeah, she's
I've
really
seen
into
I've seen
battle.
I've seen that. I've seen art of that.
Yeah, no, trust me, there's definitely art of that. And you know what? I think it's just funny because we called that in the beginning, and now we're starting to see it. And I was like, oh, we were spot on,
Yeah.
spot on.
Yeah. No, like I would have to say Nimona is probably one of the best rivals I've seen in a Pokemon game
Is
in a
she a rival
while.
though? Because she.
She's a friend slash rival. Like she's not as antagonistic towards you, but she's still using you as a measuring bar for her own growth as the game progresses, I feel.
But she's already like a
And so,
senior, and she already has all these Pokemon already. She's just like there just because she wants to battle you, and you're new. So like, yeah, let's battle. Let's just
but
do
the
it.
thing is in that game is that the students in the school, their ages very wildly. I found a trainer in the school uniform in the game who was a 60-year-old man playing Pokemon
What?
with Pokemon, and he says, "Oh, I'm a student. And I'm 60 years old." I'm just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, what the freak? How many years have been held back in? Oh my god, how
Oh
hard is the
my.
classes? Well,
Well,
to be
I, I
fair,
mean, I did kick his ass, so you know.
nice, nice, nice. Well, to be fair, it seems like there's no like pressure to go to the classes. We casually was like, oh, we should get to class very soon. Oh, hey, what's that sound in the distance? Let's go check it out. Oh, hey, we should get to class very soon. Hey, did you want to battle for a little bit? Like it didn't seem like the classes were that necessary to get into. So maybe he took his sweet time trying to get through the classes.
Yeah, and like I have not gone to a single class other than the forced one at the beginning of the game. In the game so far, I watched one person I think actually go to a math class in the game, and it was literally them telling you about the percentages of critical hits as a class.
Oh, well,
And I was just like, okay, well, I don't need to do that. I'm just gonna
I'm
keep
out.
doing my adventuring.
Do I have to go to class? See, that's the way to do it. I wish more education system like that. Cool, cool. So let's talk about your body. Let's get into your body for a little bit. And when I mean
Okay,
that, I mean your design, your model.
okay. Because there is a certain goblin who would take issues with other people getting into my body.
Hey, no, that goblin could help me. Like, I'm pretty sure the goblin probably knows a lot more details than I do. So I would love it if they came on and showed me more. Yeah, obviously.
Maybe I'll pass it along to them.
Yeah, definitely.
But thoughts that went into the design of my model. So
Yeah, because to tell you the truth, like, you're a very wholesome bookworm. Why choose demon as your main inspiration? Like, especially because we look at some of your inspiration of like things you like in the fantasy world, and you just look like an otaku like person who wants to go to the next anime convention.
Yeah. So okay, so there's gonna be a bit of backstory to this. So
Let's do it. Let's do it.
oh my god. So I am absolutely an otaku slash weeb type stuff. I've grown up on that
You're
stuff.
with your Hmong family here. Don't worry.
I know. I appreciate the family. Um, but like I am a huge otaku weeb. Um, I've been super into anime ever since I was in middle school, and for more than half of my life at this point, I've been into the stuff. And I even before the anime stuff growing up, I have a younger brother, and my parents would jokingly call my younger brother the good child, and I was the bad child.
Wow. If
And
you're the bad child, what the frick is this guy? Is he like a freaking Moses? Like, what the frick? Is he like literally donating to charity every hour? Like, if you're the bad one.
so my
Really?
so the thing was is that my younger brother is actually a stepbrother from my father's first marriage before he married my mother. And so we would only have my younger brother at the house during summers and holidays, during which time he would always be on his best behavior as a kid because he's at the home, he's not usually around. So he was perceived as the good child, and I was the kid that my parents had to deal with year round, so they had to deal with my problems growing up as a pubescent teenager. And so every once in a while it would be like, oh well, this is the good child, this is the devil child. I'm really nice right now and really chill, but there were definitely things growing up from a single parent household and then suddenly being thrown into a 2-parent household with someone I didn't really know that well. I had a few anger issues as a small kid for a couple of years as I was adapting. And at one point, I got into a fight with some other kids in the basement of a church that we went to. And so I was the devil child for getting into a fight at the church.
I see now, What was the fight about? You read the verse wrong. You took my rosary.
No, so the church had a basement to it, and they had like toys and stuff for the kids to play with in the basement for them to be entertained while the parents were doing like potlucks or meetings and stuff in the church. And this one kid had hit me in the face and given me a black eye, and in response, I was a small kid too, so I was just really angry. I ended up pushing them down and stomping on their throat.
Oh, dang! Wow.
Yeah, they lived.
That's good. Yeah, I would definitely say killing a little kid at church might get you not wanting to go to church anymore.
Yeah, so like I had anger issues when I was a lot younger, and I really grew up to be a much more chill person. I figured my way through that stuff. But like I was the kid that my parents had all year round, so I was the kid that if I got into trouble, they had to deal with it. And then if my brother got in trouble, it was usually back when he was with his mother and stuff, so they had to deal with it. So my parents never had to deal with him being in trouble during the holidays.
Makes sense.
So good kid, bad kid, kid that got into a fight at the church, devil kid. And then it didn't help that I was also really into the goth and emo phase growing up. So I wore a lot of black stuff. I wore a lot of stuff with like satanic rock bands and shit on the shirts that my parents would see. And I really kind of dug the whole Oni and devil aesthetic when I got into anime, because anime, they have these Oni and devil characters, and they're not necessarily always evil or the bad guys. So you can look at them and be like, oh, well, sure, they're the spawn of Satan, but they're not that bad.
Sure, they might be the evil incarnate, but, they can be good.
And, like, there was one particular manga series that I really enjoyed that comes to mind called Chrono Crusade, which was all about a nun and a demon that teamed up to try and take down the evil demons that had stolen the nun's younger brother. And so, like, the literature from manga and anime, including Slayers, showed that not all the demons had to be evil or bad guys, and that they were mostly misunderstood characters, which I really, what's the word? Yeah, which I really emphasized and connected to, because I felt like I was very much that person who was being held up to a standard with my brother during certain times of the year, and that I'm a good person who sometimes gets involved and does bad things, but not because I'm a bad person, but because I'm trying to grow and learn as a person. And so that really stuck with me throughout the years. And so for years, a lot of my online tags included words like Oni or demon in them. And so that just kind of stuck around and really influenced a lot of my internet identity growing up. And so when it came time to me a VTuber, I'm like, yo, I like demons. I like Onis. Let's just be one.
I like it. I like it. I think that's really cool. It kind of, no pun intended, not judging a book by its cover kind of situation, right?
Absolutely. And that's really kind of what it is. And I mean, I think there are a lot of people who, might look a certain way or on the outside might have a certain record to them. But, sometimes I think, especially when you're younger, you're going through a lot, and, who you were then doesn't necessarily adapt to who you are now. Like, don't get me wrong, I think when I was a teenager, I was an absolute little shit.
Yep.
But now, I've grown past that, and I've come to appreciate certain things and appreciate the kindness and goodness in people, that you can find it and want to share that.
I love the person in the background keep on coughing whenever you say, "Oh, I'm a great person. I'm super chill," and you just hear in the background. It's like, are you sure? Are you sure?
Someone right now. Every time I say something that's like high profile, you cough, so it sounds like you're just going. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a good decent person.
Yeah, no, I'm like here in the background. I was like, are you sure? Someone in the background might not be very familiar with that.
Yeah, that's my SO in the background, Goblivious. They're also a streamer that they're currently on hiatus though, and they're just sitting in the back, listening to one side of the story.
Yep, and always judging, like, oh yeah, I'm super chill, super nice.
Yeah. Oh, she keeps that up. She'll see if she gets taken out on a date on Monday.
Oh, snap. We know who wears the pants in this relationship. Oh, snap.
Assuming the pants stay on.
Oh, snap.
So another inspiration, especially on the t-shirt design, I am a huge fan of two specific streamers / artists, and that would be Demon Dice and Calliope Mori.
Oh yeah, okay, I can see that.
So, like, the whole motif on the shirt was a design I came up with, where it's kind of the demon skull with the dice for eyes. So it's a kind of an homage to Demon Dice and Calliope Mori, who are both musical artists, Calliope Mori being a VTuber streamer. And then the other things on my design, like on my lapel, you can see I have like two pins. One's a rabbit head. The other one's like a red orb with a half circle of silver around it. The bunny one is because A, I was born year of the rabbit. B, I love rabbits generally as an animal, and I love bunny girls generally. So I'm like, oh, let's put a rabbit motif on there. And then the red orb with the half circle silver thing on it is a talisman that is actually a major key item in the Slayers literature.
I had a feeling it was a Slayer thing.
Yeah, so it's me showing some love for Slayers on my model. And then as far as like my hair and eye color was, I just talked to my artists and they're like, what colors do you want? I'm like, look, bro, I'm just gonna be serious with you. I fucking love redheads or anime girls with pink hair and blue or green eyes.
Knew it.
Go with that shit. And they're like, okay, we'll give you some pinkish red hair with the green eyes. And I'm just like, I'm sold.
I'm sold. Here's my money.
Here's my money. Happy to be your first VTuber child.
Oh, you're the first. Nice. You're the oldest of it, all the many childs that person
Oldest
probably.
of, I think, 3 or 4 active children total.
Oh, nice, 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 nice.
Yeah. So, you know, it is what it is.
I like it. I like it. No, pretty good, pretty good. So here's a question I love asking for all of my VTubers who we very familiar with the design, but we might not be as familiar as we think we are, because the question I want to ask you is that what's your personal favorite part of the design?
So, honestly, something that I didn't even put that, like, something that was more of a, of my VTuber father's design, probably my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually a really big fan of my eyes. I
That's
think my eyes are very unique and interesting on how they design them. And honestly, drawing my eyes is one of my favorite parts of doing art of my own character and seeing how other artists interpret the eyes.
mhm.
Because, you know, my eyes, I've got kind of like almost the slit pupils a
Let's
little bit.
zoom in. Let's zoom in on your face. Zoom in. So we look at dim eyes. Ah, I see. I see. Yeah, you know that actually is a really well designed eyes. I like them.
Ah, a giant demon.
Oh, don't stay away from me.
Nom,
No, no.
nom, 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 nom.
Ah. I love it. I love it.
But yeah, so like I like my eye design. I think the eye color choice that they made for my eyes works really well with the hair and the rest of the colors. The only slight gripe I have about my design is that my colors literally use every major green screen color for chroma key. So it's
Yeah.
like, oh, use red chroma key. Oh, I got red hair. Use the green chroma key. I have green eyes. Use the blue one. Oh, my coat is blue. So I have to go with like
Yeah.
this. I have to go with like this fuchsia chroma key since NDI no longer works.
Well, the one I use, which is looking like it's doing pretty well, is magenta. So maybe that
Yeah,
might be
that's what I
ideal.
have it.
Yeah.
That's what I
So
have on mine right now. I have it like fine tuned on my OBS to like show no outline or anything, but
nice, nice.
it's always like I just copy paste the key to everyone I collab with. I'm just like, here's the key. Trust me, that's the key you want to use.
That's the key. That's the key. Yeah, Cookie also has an interesting design on hers, and she goes through a lot of different designs, and like the color chromas may be a little bit issue with her model, but I would never say that. I think green still works very well for her. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'll just be
But yeah.
glad I'm not like a rainbow design VTuber. Where
I've
it
had
just be
rainbow
every
designs.
color.
Those are fun. Those are fun to get on my show. Those are so much fun.
Oh, a lot of work, I'm sure.
It has. Okay, so then no. Okay, good. I couldn't remember.
Mm.
All right, so let's talk about your lore. What is the lore of this demon bookworm came to be?
So, funny enough, I'll go into a little bit of history about my lore. So when I first started VTubing, I was just like, I'm just a demon who likes books and anime, and I just hang out in a cave in my room, and that was literally all I did. Like I've got background art of just a messy, single room that my character used to live in that just has anime figures and books on the floor and stuff, and that's what it was. And over time, it evolved into leaning more heavily on my love of reading and being like a bookworm, uh, doing stuff at the library and stuff like that. And like that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is kind of like, oh, I'm a demon who loves books. I hang out at the library. I promote reading. I promote people being positive and good to each other. And like, as far like a part of me if I ever decide to actually flesh out my lore, there's that part of me from back when I was an edgy teenager that wants to be like, oh, Biblioteca, before he was a bookworm, he was the ultimate badass. But then he decided to have a change of heart, and now he's a kind soul, but don't piss him off.
Yeah, don't piss him off. You'll stomp your neck out.
Yeah, stomp on the necks, all the necks.
All the necks.
But generally, like a lot, I know some people will do more of playing a character, but mostly over time I started trying to play a character, but over time I was just like, I'm just gonna be me,
Mm.
and people tend to like me. So that's been working right. So I don't put a whole lot of thought into lore, other than the fact that I'm a demon. I like books. What up?
What up? I like it. I like it. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. I like it a lot. Cool. Cool.
Mhm.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, then the other one I want to get into is a maybe controversial question, but I would like to hear your
Mhm.
answers on this. Man, I keep on pressing the wrong button. Messing up today. I apologize.
No
Um,
problem.
but what's your thoughts on the VTube community at the moment?
At the moment, oh my god, that is a loaded question.
Yeah, and it
So,
usually is either really good or it's really bad. So it just depends.
so I have conflicting issues with the VTuber community. So when I started in the VTuber community, I felt like there was a lot of support among the streamers. A lot of people were very positive towards each other, supported each other, were very social with each other. And in general, everyone was like, "Hey, it's really cool that we all want to do this thing. Let's like social link up and do collabs and hang out and have a good time." And I feel today if you've already formed those groups with people, then you're fine. But I feel for newer VTubers, it's a lot harder to break into those already formed groups, and that there's a lot less outward support for newer streamers or even for older streamers trying to connect with newer people.
Mm-hmm.
That a lot of people are more pulling away and trying to do their own thing rather than support each other. And I think that's just part of the business. A lot of people at the start, I think, joined because they wanted to socialize when they were stuck in a world where they couldn't go out and socialize. So they socialized online through their VTubers. And now I feel a lot with the world reopening a lot of the newer people or a lot of people who tend to stick with it are more interested in the business aspect and growing themselves and aren't as supportive or outreaching to as many people. And I mean, no shade on that. I mean, I think that's just a natural progression and how things work out on that. It's a little sad to see, but there are still some of the bigger VTubers in the indie scene who are still very outreaching and supportive to smaller ones, and that's nice to see. I do feel that, and I feel like this has been an issue with the VTubing community for a while, is how much drama tends to pop up. And I think some of the drama that pops up when it's involving someone who has been confirmed with receipts, being someone of a disreputable type. You hear people who are obviously doing very bad things, and there are receipts of them doing the bad things. Definitely should be called out to protect other people within the community from being abused by those people. That's great, but I also feel like there's a lot of situations that people will bring up and make drama over that don't need to be public. Like they might be like, "Oh well, so and so did this to me," and it's like, okay, does it affect everyone? Well, no, they only did this one thing to me, and it's like, okay, so you're dragging them through the mud because you had a disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
And
Basically, every Twitter community. I know, right?
yeah, basically every Twitter community. I mean, to be fair, as much as I love Twitter for reaching out to people and being able to post things so people know what's going on, Twitter is a bit of a cesspool, especially right now, um, with everything going on. And there are very good things about it, and I'm very thankful for the people I met through Twitter and the communities in Twitter. But there's also a large section of it that I feel is very toxic that I'm trying to avoid these days. And honestly, I'm at that point where I'm very happy in the social circles I have, and to just maintain being in those while doing some small self-advertising here and there. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking to go and shake hands with every single person to try and grow myself. I'm just kind of happy with where I'm at, and would I like more growth? Sure. Do I want to deal with the stress of dealing with more people for that growth? Not so much.
Yeah, I see. I see. Definitely, definitely. For I would
But I
just
feel
say when like Twitter is literally going to be on fire pretty soon, and it's probably going to burn down itself. So I am kind of just riding the waves until I have the abandoned ship. But I am really curious what's going to be the next social platform. Like, what's going to be the next one everyone's going to go to?
I don't know, but I feel like with everyone who worked at Twitter leaving Twitter, that there will be. I imagine a lot of the people who used to work for Twitter will probably make a Twitter clone
Mm.
over time to replace Twitter, since it got taken over by Elon Musk, and his whole thing has been to basically burn everything down.
I wonder, like, you could probably definitely do that, right? Like, the people who used to own Twitter can just make a new Twitter and just do everything they did with the old Twitter onto this one. They're not like, it's not like a copywriting thing. It's not like a monopoly on that thing. You could just do that. And they have done that. So I feel like they could just do it again. Right?
Yeah, so Pyro brings up the point that I was going to bring up too, is that it depends. Sometimes there are agreements between an employee and the company that they cannot create similar products or use the code from that product well with the company to make anything that would directly compete with it.
So then what if Twitter fell and like crash and burn and is no longer a thing?
If Twitter's no longer a thing, they could absolutely do that. But like Cookie just said, a lot of the people who left basically got 3 months severance pay. So the people who owned Twitter, who sold it to Musk, sure, they got their billions of dollars, but the everyday person who left the company afterwards might be interested in doing their own startup of something similar to Twitter once Twitter crashes and burns. Because once Twitter is dead and buried, then they can create something similar, if not almost identical to it, as long as Twitter's not around to compete with. But like the people, all the coders and debuggers and all that, those people who worked for Twitter that left, they only got 3 months severance pay. So they would have to get back. They would have to come back. They need to look for new jobs, and they might be more apt to try and do a startup to replace Twitter.
No, I definitely see that. All right, we'll see. Well, like, again, I'm not loyal to any of these things. I'm not loyal to Twitch, not loyal to Twitter. I'm just going to jump off and do whatever whenever it seems fit.
I mean, I see a lot of people go like, maybe we'll switch to Tumblr. And like, there isn't really a good social media form to replace Twitter as of right now.
Yeah.
That is as good as Twitter. And that's kind of a problem because, where is the direct competition with Twitter? There is none.
I agree. 1 second, my workers just called me a couple times, so sure. I want you to take control of the chat, okay? Take control of the chat.
All right, well, why don't we ask chat if anyone wants to spin the wheel?
Well, I have to spin the wheel, and I have to leave.
Okay.
Be right back, be right back. If there is going to be... No. Just don't light anything on fire, Pyro. I'm looking at you. No lighting things on fire, okay? Hey, 1 second.
All right, everyone. Okay. They're gone? TrickcoGaming's gone? They're gone? Hello, everyone. Have you written your book reports? Burn it down? You want fire? We can do fire? Ooh, I do like fire. What's my favorite book? Well, rather than my favorite book series would be the Slayer series by Hajime Kanzaka. But like my favorite book to constantly reread over and over and over and over and over would probably be like the Gunsmith Cat series, or maybe Tear of the Gods from the Krondor series. But hello, Toasty Bread 419 Gaming, burning, yay! But yeah, I love books. I like fantasy books generally more than most other books. But yeah, I mean, Amy, anything. I am here to chill and literally just here between bouts of Pokemon madness right now with Scarlet version because, Scarlet, best color, red, gotta love red, love the red. Red is the cool color. What is your favorite candy and why is it Reese's? Ha ha! Joke's on you. Reese's is my 1.5 favorite candy. So I have like 2 favorite candies, and it is not Reese's Cups. It is actually the Reese's Sticks. I love the Reese's Sticks. which are basically Reese's cups turned into kind of like Kit Kat things with the peanut butter in them. So I love those. And then I also love, uh, the European Smarties. Not the Smarties that you get in America. They're like chalk pieces of candy made of sugar. No, Smarties are a candy in Europe where they are candy-coated dark chocolate pieces, kind of like M&Ms, but slightly bigger and dark chocolate with a candy shell instead. And they are just delicious. Oh my gosh, chef's kiss. I love them. They're always on my throne and stuff for people to buy for me if they want to, or I buy them myself every once in a while because you have to import them into the States. I really wish they would just sell them here, but they won't because bogus reasons, I guess.
Bogus reasons, definitely.
Bogus reasons. Welcome back.
Good to be back. There's not as much fire as I thought it was gonna be.
Oh, I mean, the fire is contained to a very small portion of the screen, so maybe later you'll see it grow.
Oh no! Better put it out. Put it out. Oh hey, Toasty, how you doing? Toasty's best. No, Cookie, you're the mod. You're not supposed to burn down things. What the frick? Meow.
Wait a minute. Do you not know how mods work in Twitch?
I do, but
there's just as much chaos as the streamer, if not more.
Well, I think chaos and Cookie is hand in hand. German chocolate eggs still banned in America? Kinder eggs? No, it's not banned in America.
Oh, actually, yes, they are.
What?
Yes,
really? I've seen it.
They are.
Really?
So the Kinder eggs they sell in America are actually different from the Kinder eggs they sell.
Oh, so they're different. Okay.
Yeah, so they banned the original Kinder eggs from Europe in America, and so the company has made an American version because Americans are too stupid to not choke on the toy inside the egg.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I remember there was a Wonder Egg that used to have stuff on it too. I remember that. Wonder Ball, something like that.
The Wonder Ball. I remember the Wonder Ball where it would have like Disney stickers inside the candy ball.
Yeah, but then that was toys. That was toys once, I think. At least the ones I remember.
Oh, it's time for the Wheel of Morality.
We gotta spin. So let's see what random question we're gonna ask our lovely Oni over here. Do you like Oni or do I?
Wheel of Morality. Turn, and tell us the lesson that we should learn.
And the lesson is, you need to do an ada.
I need to do an ada.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, I actually have this as a redeem on my channel.
Okay, let's hear it. You guys, turn up your volume on your headsets.
Mo chachantara kawaii koto ara.
Oh, a little extra right there. You got some Love is War feeling right there.
I like being a little extra.
do the extra. Nice. I was expecting cursed ada. Whoa.
Oh, cursed ara. If I have the streamer's permission.
Yeah, go for it.
Mo chachantara.
It didn't go through, unfortunately.
Oh.
What?
Let's do an all duck one then. Ma.
Yeah, I got cut off again. It's too cursed. It's too cursed.
My curse can't pass the gates. I'm sorry, everyone. Demonic curse can't pass the gates to real life. I'm sorry. You're
blame Discord. Goblin a la goblin these nuts. Oh Sam. You guys were talking about Wonder Balls, so yeah, goblin these nuts. Drink.
Goblin these nuts. I mean,
what? But what made you ada? Psh, what? But I'm not a VTuber. I don't do the adas. What? I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking. Hello, Goblin. Oh wait, is that your coffee friend in the back?
That is the coughing goblin in the back.
Toasty, no! How dare you? What? Cookie, how dare you? No!
Oh!
No! How dare you? I knew this was gonna happen if I mentioned it. Okay, so because of all the VTubers that have come on my show, I have been trying to get better at doing an ada. So would you judge my ada for me?
Absolutely.
Hey, I have to do 2 adas apparently, so let me see if I can do it. Ada.
Oh, you've got a bit of like a gravelly anime man voice going
Yeah.
on with those.
JoJo is my inspiration when it comes to Ada-Adas.
Mo ara daze.
Yeah, something like that. Like I like the Ora kind of situation. It's alright, Cookie. It's alright. Ora. But yes, Goblin always does. I'm the one who has to hear the whole thing. Oh snap! Has to hear the whole thing, and she's dead. Dead.
I think Pyro redeemed another spin.
Oh yeah, we got another spin. You're right. I shall refund your points later. It's okay. Tickle the trick. No, get those tentacles away from me. I don't know why, but my chat loves to mess with me with tentacles. Don't know why. Why is?
I mean, tentacles are everyone's best friend.
Like if you. So you can have all the tentacle fun, my friend. You can have demons and tentacles go hand in hand apparently. So you guys go all the fun.
I mean, we send the tentacles out and everything. It's fun. It's good stuff.
Oh, yeah. But I'll say that I'll stay with my tentacles. The only tentacles I like is the ones that I can eat.
Fried squid and calamari is really good.
Don't disrespect Mr. Atasi. Yes, Atasi. You know what? I'm not trying to disrespect. I'm just saying I have my own private bubble, and only certain people that I allow can go into my bubble, and no tentacles. Exactly. Now we got not spin. Do not spin.
Spin.
And I knew this was gonna happen. Favorite pizza topping. So we knew this was gonna happen. So, what's your thoughts?
Well, as a very cultured pizza demon from Chicago, where pizza is all the rage, it depends. It depends on the pizza place, but the general pizza place that I order from, that is a local mom and pop shop, I like to get a combination of pepperoni, sliced Italian beef, and bacon.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
And we'll do that on either a thin crust or deep dish pizza.
I see.
If I go to a like specialty place that does like the Chicago stuffed deep dish, then I'll do one that comes with sausage, pepperoni, mortadella salami, bacon, sometimes with beef on it too. And I always like to sprinkle crushed red pepper on my pizza. Pizza casserole, it's delicious, Pyro.
What's your thoughts on the pineapple on pizza, huh?
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Bleh.
I like my pizza cheesy and spicy with the meats. I'm not looking for sweetness on my pizza.
Now, here, because I gotta mess with Cookie, because she's been messing with me all stream so far. Would you consider the pizza in your region the best pizza in the world?
So, I love my Chicago pizza. I don't really get the Chicago deep dish style that often. It's more of a once or twice a year type thing. Rather than a every time I get pizza thing, I usually go with a thin crust or like a pan pizza. I would honestly have to say some of the best pizza I ever had was actually when I went to Italy right before COVID happened. I went to Italy, and some of the best amazing pizza I had was when I was in Rome.
No, you're not supposed to say that. No. You're supposed to say American pizza. You're not supposed to say Italian pizza. No.
Pizza in Rome.
It defeats my entire goal. Yeah.
No, like literally, they would just put fresh slices of cheese across the pizza, fresh meats. The sauce was just delicious. It was also good. You could literally walk anywhere and get like an actual pizza, Italian pizza, or you could go to a bakery and get like pizza bread from the bakeries in Rome. Oh, it was so. I don't know if I've ever eaten as well as I did during my trip in Rome. It was so good.
Well,
It
you
was
know what?
so good.
You're 100% correct. I'm pretty sure the Italian pizzas has like the best pizzas. And I want to go there one day. I just thought you might be more loyal to the United States pizzas, and I know it would hurt Cookie, but apparently you are not on my side on this.
No, no, no. The food in Italy is fucking amazing. Sorry.
Ah, ah. No, it's okay. It's
and
fine.
and I'm a bit of a foodie, so like I am not going to mince words and just say that Italy is probably some of the best eating I ever had.
Nice, nice. One day I'll have Italy pizza. I will one day I will, and be delicious.
Mm.
Fun fact: tomatoes aren't native to Italy. Oh, I didn't know where they were native to, but huh. Speaking of facts, speaking of the
Yes.
facts, love it,
What would
love it.
Tekka do if he met someone that never had sushi? I would offer to take them up for sushi.
Yeah,
Obviously.
Toasty never has sushi before, which one day he will have sushi. You will have
Oh,
sushi.
I love sushi.
I
I love
love sushi
sushi.
too, me too. I love
I'll
sushi.
go out all the time for sushi. I actually just went out the other day and had a slab of ahi tuna steak. Um, and the place I go to, they will actually serve it to you mostly raw. Like they'll just sear the outside of it a little bit, and the inside is still raw, and it
Mm.
is just mwah. Ahi tuna steak is delicious. Delicious.
I'm more of a salmon lover, but yes, I will have it one day.
Gosh dang it! I opened Tekka's Twitch and got a surprise. Gosh dang it!
Oh
Surprise.
dang, oh dang, all the surprise, all the surprise.
Oh, is it my trailer for my channel? Because it's Christmas time, and
Oh,
so it's got the Potaroo trailer going, which was
Pataroo.
made by Pyromancer in my chat.
Oh,
So
nice.
big
There
ups
you
to
go.
Pyromancer on that.
Yeah, I give the shout out. Love it, I love it. Gosh darn, I opened
Yeah.
up Tekka's Twitch and got surprised. Gosh darn it, I love it, I love it. Originally, pasta wasn't made with tomato sauce. Oh, we're learning so much today. Here I got a penderood, all the penderoods.
Honestly, as far as tomato sauce goes, I've actually been a really big fan of like the spicy Sicilian or the arabarita sauce that they're starting to sell in grocery stores,
Mm-hmm.
which is a pomodoro marinara that is roasted with red peppers in it. So it's a
Mm,
spicy tomato sauce.
spicy.
And
I
like that's been the thing in the Tekka household
uh-huh.
now.
I've always been an Alfredo kind of person. I love it. I love it.
Uh, the only good thing I see for Alfredo is to add like Cajun spices and peppers and oil to it to turn it into a Southwest Cajun sauce, and then
Mm-hmm.
serve that with chicken and pasta.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Maybe I'll try that one day. Maybe I'll try that.
E.
Yeah. Okay, so how long you been streaming for?
I've been streaming for it'll be 2 years this upcoming
Oh,
February of 2023.
I see. I
I
see.
started streaming February 5th of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So then, answer this. What have
Mm-hmm.
you noticed any changes since you first started streaming compared to now?
Uh, well, Twitch has gone through a lot of changes, I
Mm.
feel, as far as certain things go, as they keep rolling out different programs, ad stuff, different things for affiliates and partners. And then uh, I also feel, there's a lot of fluctuation throughout the year also on viewer numbers based on the time of year. Summer tends to be good because there's more people with free time, like younger people, but then they go back to school or people, whatever. I also feel like now that COVID is, for the most part, kind of under wraps, that a lot of people have returned to work and stuff, that a lot less people are spending time watching streamers. And I feel that's definitely something that's been happening going on. So I mean, I see a lot more. I see a lot more of the older VTubers kind of wandering away from the streaming, and newer ones trickling in, and it's a fluctuating thing,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, and I definitely think that streaming the piece of the pie for streaming has gotten smaller as people return to the everyday world after COVID. But like, I still really enjoy all the people I met and the friendships I've made. So like, I'm gonna keep maintaining those,
Do it.
and
Do it.
probably keep streaming for a long time to come.
Nice. I like to hear it. I hope you get up there so you can get that
Yeah,
Audible sponsorship.
yeah. That's gonna be the thing though. I'm gonna get the Audible sponsorship and then be like, you know what? I got it. I don't even need to stream anymore. Later, peace. got what I wanted. Bye bye. But no,
Bye. Nah.
no. I love audio. I love audiobooks right now because life is always busy. I work full time, plus streaming, plus socialization with D&D groups, friends, a relationship, all that stuff.
Same,
So
same.
audiobooks, it's like the whole ad thing. It's like, in a demon's life, you're always so busy, and that's why between working full time, raising hell, and relationships, I choose Audible for my books on the go.
Do it.
Makes reading so much easier when I can listen while raising heck.
Yep, I like it. That's perfect. We should make sure that we clip that so that we can give it to him later, so that he can use that for an actual like commercial.
Amazon overlords, pay me in books.
Maybe $1. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, all right.
Ugh.
So now a little bit more fun. What's your favorite video game and free game franchise?
Live in a video game world. Which one would you choose?
Oh, sorry,
Oh my
that's the
God.
wrong one. Huh. Oh well, whatever.
Oh,
If you
I
can
mean,
live
what
in
are
the
we-
video game world, what world would it be?
Oh, I was one ahead. Oh, I'm sorry.
You totally good.
Dude,
Like, answer it. Go for it.
so my answer is going to be kind of boring because Slayers got turned into video games, so I'm going to go with Slayers as the world.
Go for
And
it.
if I'm gonna do something
Wait,
that's
no.
strictly just a video game, I would almost want to say Pokemon.
Pokemon. Yep, me too. I would love to live in the Pokemon world.
Like if it had to be strictly something that originated as a game, I would have to say Pokemon because the idea of being able to adventure with these monsters and the fact that they live in a world that still needs to be explored is just so much more interesting to me than our world, which has been completely explored except for the oceans, and no one is funding the necessary funds to really explore the depths of the ocean or space. So, like, we're on this mud ball here where almost everything that is visible and tangible to us is already done and explored, and it's kind of boring. So, like, the idea that Pokemon is a world where not only do you have these fantastical monsters that you can have as partners to explore the world with, but that they live in a world that can be explored is very fascinating and exciting.
I agree 100%. Would you
Would
say,
you say Pokemon is? You go ahead. It's your stream.
I don't know. You can do it. I don't mind it. Actually, read the things. It allows me to drink a cup of water.
No, Tekka, would you say Pokemon is the first ever Battle Royale, since you spawn on an island and you have to eliminate other players to be #1 player? So I feel we talked about this a bit earlier when we were discussing Pokemon MMO about how awesome it would lend itself to being a PvP type game in addition to being PvE. And I would say part of it is pretty Battle Royale, except, the Pokemon games these days are so easy for veteran players, I feel, because, they're like, oh, you have to learn type advantage. It's like, I've been doing type advantage since I was 10 years old.
Yep.
What's up?
Come at me, bro.
Like, honestly, like, I wish they had a toggle in the game options where it's like, are you a new Pokemon player or are you someone who's been playing Pokemon for the past 25 years? And it's just like,
Yeah.
hit that toggle. They just skip the tutorial stuff that they try to shove down your throat at the beginning of the games. Because it's like, you've been here before. You know.
Yeah,
what's
you
going
know
on.
what Pokemon are. You know what it is.
Yeah. Like,
More
where
modes and
is
options.
the I am an adult Pokemon player mode?
Yep. New game plus for veterans. Exactly. Mm-hmm. No, I like it.
Yeah.
I would definitely say, I agree. I wish the Pokemon was real life. I think that'd be great. Now, going back to where we were going before, favorite Pokemon, favorite video game or game franchise?
So I touched on it a little bit earlier, but the Disgaea series, the Lunar series, the Harvest Moon series, specifically the Super Nintendo game, which was the first one they made, is a favorite of mine. I'm also a big fan of the Pokemon series, obviously. As far as other games go around, I'm kind of looking around my my streaming space to see what else I have around that could inform stuff I might not be thinking of right now. I used to be a big MOBA game player, so I would play stuff like Fate Grand Order,
Same.
uh, and stuff like that. Um, I recently switched phones because my one phone died, and I lost my Fate Grand Order account,
Oh no.
which I hadn't been playing actively for years anyways. I just kind of
Okay.
logged in every once in a while and did rolls. And so when I lost it, I looked at my phone. I'm like, I really just do not care enough to go through the effort to try and get it back.
Mm-hmm.
And so I let it go. And so like the only MOBA I actively play now is Cookie Run Kingdom. And that game is so generous, I don't have to buy anything in it with real money.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Cookie Run Kingdom, I enjoy. I used to be a big fan of the Project Diva games with Hatsune Miku, the rhythm games. I used to play those a lot. I used to play the Idolmaster game series. I enjoy the Galgun game series, which is a Japanese shooter where you literally have a gun that makes women reach nirvana as you shoot them.
You're not wrong. I tried to stream it. It was fun.
Oh yeah. So back before COVID, I would have parties at my place and I would invite people over, and if I had people come over who had never heard of Galgun, I would throw the original from the PlayStation 3 on the TV, hand them the controller and the light gun and be like, "Have fun. You're going to either love this or hate this." And it was always it was a thing. It was a thing. And the reaction you got was either "Oh my god, this is so funny," or "Oh my god, I can't believe they made this."
Yep, I love it. I love it. It's so good, so good. I definitely recommend it for people to play it. Definitely. All right, so here's a fun one for you. If you could collaborate with any VTuber out there, no matter how big or small, who would you want to collab with?
So I'm going to take this opportunity to say some names of people I've collabed with in the past, but would like to collab with again in the future, because we haven't collabed recently, as well as some people who I admire and want to collab with and have not had the opportunity to do so yet, and also to shout out some names for some other streamers I think you would also enjoy who I surround myself with. So one you recently had on your channel, Emmy, the Bunny Succubus VTuber with the 3D model. I've collabed with her once in the past for her talk show. I would love the opportunity to collab with her again on maybe playing a game in the future. I think that would be a lot of fun. I also have another friend who I have not collabed with recently, named Roku-chan, who's a cat girl VTuber who streams pretty irregularly right now because of IRL stuff, but they do a lot of really fun, high quality streams. So I want to shout them out and support them. As far as big names goes, I would absolutely die on the spot if I got to be able to stream with Demon Dice.
Oh.
So Demon Dice is an IRL streamer, but they're a musician first and foremost. They've started doing their own streams on an irregular basis, but they are someone who was a big inspiration for me as a content creator, as well as someone whose music I love and enjoy, and someone who I got the opportunity to go to one of their concerts and meet as a VIP ticket, to meet them in person and get a photo with them and talk to them a bit. And like, they are just such a down-to-earth, chill person, and I would absolutely love the opportunity to maybe like chill out with them on a stream sometime and maybe play a game. And like, they always say don't meet your heroes, but sometimes it's kind of like, what if your hero turns out to be a really chill person? You want to just hang out.
True. That is very true.
Yeah. Other than that, I also think I would want the opportunity to possibly stream with Vividly Vivi, who is an Australian nuclear VTuber. They do a mix of games and ASMR streams, and they're one of the bigger indie VTubers who actually still reaches out and does a lot in the smaller indie community. So I think it would be pretty cool to maybe hang out with them on a stream sometime.
I think that'd be actually really cool too. You know, it's always good to have these kind of things because you never know. It could literally be a thing just right around the corner.
Oh yeah, and like, I feel the collab culture will eventually make its way back. I mean, VTubers do collab still, but like the whole collabing with people outside of your general circle, I feel like that's something that will come back eventually.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been reaching out to
Ah,
people and
I
trying to.
know.
Yeah.
You've got a pretty far reach to reach down to Heck.
Yeah, no, right? Trust me, I have made my home over there many times with a lot of different kinds of VTubers. A lot less wholesome than you are. Let's say that.
Well, I keep my social media pretty wholesome, but even my Discord has a not safe for work section where things
Ah,
get spicy.
makes sense. Makes sense. I gotta check it out. Maybe one day. One day.
I mean, so as a bookworm, I also read less spicy books.
Oh,
and
sad.
I'll make spicy book recommendations on my Discord and stuff.
I see.
So
See,
I
good
mean,
quality, good quality stuff.
I like to read all things, including the things not meant for all eyes.
Yeah, the goblin in the back room keeps coffee. Is like, oh yeah, no, he totally has a lot of them. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no. There's an entire shelf of physical ones too. So Also,
Go for it.
let me just say, spicy books on Audible with as an audiobook.
Mm.
Getting that spicy as an audio format in your ears, it's different.
Cookie ideas. Okay, cool. Okay, so now that you've been streaming for a while, what is your future goals that you want to do with streaming?
What are my goals? Goals. Well, obviously, number one is to continue to have fun. Streaming is something I started as a hobby to socialize with people, and while I have found some success in it where it can help fund itself through the generosity of others, it is something I still mostly do to have fun and spend time doing the things I love with people who enjoy what I do. And I want to continue doing that. And in addition to that, something that's what I've wanted to do as I grow larger is to eventually maybe start putting out the word on specific charities that promote reading and providing books to underprivileged communities and children and stuff.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I've done that a couple of times within the past year and a half-ish that I've been doing this. I've poked and mentioned certain charities, but not like done charity drives for them personally, which is something I would like to eventually start doing when I have the time to plan it out and put it together and to reach out to them. Another thing I would like to do is to get sponsorships. Ideally, Audible, hit me up. Or maybe from like a major book chain like Half Price Books, plug them. I used to work for them when I was a college student.
There you go.
And like half my paycheck would always go back to them. But I would like to get sponsorships from companies that share a message that I share, that I promote. So like I get sponsorship through Stream Elements for stuff like HelloFresh, Raid Shadow Legends, everything everyone gets.
Exactly.
But I don't want to do those because they don't have a message that I want to share. Like I want to promote reading. I want companies that do books and stuff that want to promote people to read more to reach out and be like, hey, promote reading. And I'd be like, hell yeah, I want to promote reading. I do that on my own anyways. You can just pay me for it now.
Yeah, just do that. Yeah, I like it.
Honestly, as much as I don't think it will happen, but something that I would love to do is maybe to one day be able to do streaming full time. I don't know if I would ever be able to do that currently, and with how things are going, but I would. It's like a pipe dream to maybe one day be able to do this full time.
That'd be cool. Well, it's always a dream of every streamer to do it full time, but it just depends on how committed and dedicated you are with that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, I think I'd be pretty committed and dedicated to it. The issue is that I got bills to pay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's hard. It's hard to be dedicated to something if you can't afford it.
Yeah, I'm an older demon. I got a mortgage on a cave here, and I gotta pay it every month.
True. Yeah, true. I see it. All right, are you ready for the last question of the night?
Heck yeah, hit me with it.
All right. What is any advice you want to give out to VTubers who might want to get into streaming or VTubing?
So as a person who had means to do so when I started, I went straight into commissioning the design and the live 2D model and rigging and all that stuff. You do not need to do that to be a VTuber. A lot of people start out as and stay as PNGs as VTubers. You do not need to spend all the money in the world to get the shiny model to start off and build a community. There are people who have large communities that are still mostly static image based. So you know what? Save yourself the pain and headache of spending that money if you can't afford it. You can be just as successful without the shiny bells and whistles. Also, I know a lot of people, and myself included, look at streaming and go, I could do that, and think it's just going to be a plug and play situation. It is not. It is something that will take time, effort, and a lot of work. And no matter how long you do it, there will always be scuff, things going wrong. It's just what happens. So, be kind to yourself when scuff happens and learn to play it off and improv and share it as a thing with your chat so that it is not the end of the world feeling for you when it happens.
Agreed.
Back when you first started, it's like, oh my god, the audio's not working. What's going on? It's the end of the world. No. Don't do that. Just get the audio fixed and be like, oh my god, could you believe blah 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 blah, kind of jokingly with people aren't here for the doom and gloom. They want you to entertain them and sometimes the entertainment is trouble, but just always try to put a positive spin on things. Also, I would also recommend, and this is something that I had to learn, was to make personal time for myself outside of streaming. When I started streaming, I was working a full-time job, streaming 5 to 6 times a day, and doing like 4 to 5 hour streams every day I streamed. So I had like no personal life. And I did that for like 3 to 4 months, and it was not the best thing. Honestly, take personal time for yourself, avoid burnout, and if you need to take time off from a scheduled stream, just do it. Always take care of your own mental health before anything else.
True. Yep. I agree. I like it. Awesome. Well, hey, that's all 15 questions you answered. Thank you so much for answering every single one. And we got some really good conversations going. I love them. That was great. We talked for a while. I feel like we should have made a podcast out of this episode because that was really good. It's really good.
Honestly, my favorite thing to do is just get into collab chats with people and just chat. I mean, I remember one stream I did at the start that was like a 6-hour chat between me and another person just talking about our anime waifus, anime opinions and stuff. Like, we can talk forever. It's an issue.
Not an issue at all. It sounds perfect. It sounds exactly what I like. But yeah, no, thank you so much for joining in. For everyone else, if you guys want to ask your questions to our lovely guests here, definitely go for it. And then if you guys want to spin any more wheels, you guys can definitely do that for now. But for now, what's the best way people can check you out, Mr. Tekka?
So the name is Biblioteca. It rhymes with biblioteca, which means library in Spanish. Biblio is the Greek word for book. So it is my name is a pun. It's a bilingual phonetic pun. I love puns. But you can find me on all my social media at Biblioteca, one word, on Twitter and Twitch and VTube and YouTube and everything. If you like the design on my shirt with the skull and the headphones, you can find my design. You can find that design on Redbubble under Biblioteca. Order your own Biblioteca, stuff like that. I do have Biblioteca merch, but I do not have an actual store for it yet. If you come to my streams and ask about it, I can show you. I've got keychains. I've got stickers. Once a year, I do a merch drop on my anniversary stream. Last year, the special item in limited number was a Biblioteca body pillow. This year, we're going to have some new stuff. Don't want to go into all the details yet, but there will be new stuff. But just trying to do the things. Yeah, Biblioteca. If you look me up on Google, it's literally just me as long as you spell it the way.
Hey, I like it. I like it. I think that's good. This thing that's good.
It's a very like I really lucked out on the name being like unique enough that no one else uses it.
I like it. It's good. It's good. People keep on taking my name, and I don't know how. It's a freaking weird name. Why? Why do people take my name?
TrickcoGaming.
Yeah, I had to put TrickcoGaming because Trickco has been taken somehow. I don't understand how it worked, but yeah. How dare they? How dare they? But don't worry, I got my gamer tags as Trickco, so take that, whoever's been taking my name.
Nice. I actually just updated the gamer tags on all of my gaming profiles to Biblioteca, and no one had taken them. Just like, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, see, that's the best feeling. That's the best feeling. I love it.
Yeah.
Any more last questions before we end? Thank you again for coming on my show and giving your time and working with me on this. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. My absolute pleasure. After this, I'll probably have to feed the goblin, though.
Oh, yeah, feed the goblin. Well, give him some water first.
Mm-hmm. Oh, go. We got a spin.
Do the spins.
Wheel of morality, turn, and tell us the lesson that we should learn.
It looks like it is... What YouTubers do you like to watch?
Okay, so my YouTuber selection might come off a bit eclectic and random. So I like watching channels like Channel Awesome with the Nostalgia Critic. I love the old movie reviews.
Same here.
I like watching Legal Eagle, which is a lawyer who talks about cases and stuff. It gives you insights to the cases, laws. He'll also do movie reviews on movies that are about lawyers and court cases and stuff. So that's a lot of fun. I will also watch some Markiplier because the Goblin is very much into Markiplier. So we watch some Markiplier every now and then.
Nice.
And other than that, not a whole lot. I use a lot of YouTube for some of the music stuff. Like if I'm cleaning and stuff, I'll put on some lo-fi hip hop chill beat stuff while cleaning and stuff. But like honestly, I don't watch that much YouTube anymore because I'm constantly keeping myself busy.
Makes sense. I like it. Okay, cool. Good choices.
Yeah, some legal stuff, some movie stuff. Every once in a while, some political stuff. But I won't bring politics into here.
Makes sense.
But yeah, that's mostly it. Not a whole lot of YouTube.
I like it. Well, I think that's really cool. Really cool. I like that. Cool. Any last ones before we raid our friend Tequila? We're gonna do Radio Tequila. He's playing Overwatch now. We're gonna be raiding him.
Ooh, I love Tequila.
Oh yeah, you'll love him. He's a Home Depot employee. He's trying to make it into the streaming biz. He is extremely energetic and is like probably one of the most nicest, awesomest people I've ever met.
Honestly,
don't tell him I said that though. Don't tell him I said that.
Honestly, I had to chug a monster before getting on today because I woke up and I was just like,
yeah, coffee for me. I had to get the coffees.
I'm not a coffee drink. I can't stand coffee. Honestly,
I used to be like that, but it became acquired taste as I got older. Definitely.
People tell me that it's like, oh, you have to drink more of it to get used to it. I'm like, well, why would I drink more of the thing I hate?
Exactly. Well, yeah, no, 100%.
But I like teas, so I'll drink teas. But like mostly, I drink water. I'm not even that. I don't even drink soda that much.
Same. Definitely. Cool.
I hit 30. I hit 30, and it was like, oh, time to drink water for the rest of my life.
Yep. It's pretty much like 20, but you have a permanent debuff on your back and legs.
Oh yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it's fun. It's totally fun.
Thank you so much for having me on here. I had a good time.
Me too.
I look forward to who all else you interview next.
Oh yeah, I think my next person I'll be interviewing is going to be a dragon VTuber, so I'm looking forward to that. It'll be a dragon VTuber. So if you guys would like, you guys can hit the follow, and you guys will see me interview a new person each and every week. And the next one's going to be a dragon VTuber. Near the end of
Ooh.
December, I'm probably not going to be doing that much streaming because
Mhm.
it's the holidays, so I'm probably going to take a little bit of a break. But when the new year starts, I'll have brand new people who I'll be interviewing. I'm going to try and keep this going as long as possible. Hopefully, people want to come on my show. Hopefully.
Yeah, sounds like a good time. I hope it goes well.
Yeah, I really hope so, and I hope you get that Audible sponsorship one day.
Audible, sponsor me!
Awesome. But until then, I hope you guys all have yourself a very nice day. Thank you guys all for showing up, and we'll see you guys next time. Give Radio Tequila some love for me when you guys see him, and don't leave the Discord call Vioteca, okay?
Okie dokie.
Cool. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.
Boy, boy, boy.
Bye-bye.